Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Masters action will continue today. A quick look at the leaderboard. Tied at the top, Rory McIlroy and Cam Young at 11 under. Sam Burns at 10 under. Shane Lowry and Jason Day round out the top 5 at 9 and 8 under. Coverage begins today at 2 p.m. Yesterday in MLB action, the Reds rolled the Angels 7-3. Ellie De La Cruz led the way with 3 hits. Spencer Steer added a solo home run. They're back in action today at 1:40 to close out the series. In Cleveland, the Guardians also with a win. They beat the Braves 6-0. Guards third baseman Jose Ramirez had a solo home run in the first that made him the first Cleveland player to go deep against all 29 MLB teams. The Guardians will take on the Braves tonight again at 7:20. The Blue Jackets in the win column yesterday 5-2 versus the Canadians. With 2 to go, they take on the Bruins tonight at 6 as the CBJ continues to chase the Flyers for a late season playoff bid. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show.
All right, that door is sealed off, so I don't think Scotty Vegas can hear me. Welcome in as we interrupt your tax season to acknowledge and potentially celebrate what I deem to be one of the most overrated days in the history of sports.
Oh, my gosh.
Colbart team is Jacob Reimer, Isaiah.
We're starting the show that way?
Yes.
Hot.
Wow.
Now, 2 things can be true, fellas. As I think the buzzer interrupted me. Colbart team is Jacob Reimer, Isaiah Jacob. That's your combination today. 2 things can be true, and this is important for this discussion. And do not let this just fly away into the breeze, regardless of anything that I say the rest of the segment. So, something can be good, and it can also be overrated.
Okay.
That means that, because the term overrated applies to, it's dependent on the way people talk about something. I think the people who start their discussions for the best days in sports with Masters Sunday need to get a clue. I think there's no way that this can be the top sports day of the year. Now, we're blessed with the really good one this year, and probably a lot of years. I don't know golf like that, but we have a tie at first place entering Masters Sunday. So, first of all, you're dependent on what the leaderboard looks like the first 3 days. So That's not good. You could have a situation where
where Rory has a 6-shot lead going into the weekend, like he did.
Perhaps. Well, I know, but then he crashed and burned. Yeah. Which, by the way, that's another thing. I'm kind of rooting for that again. And he had what? He had a 1-over yesterday in round 3.
Yes.
Cam Young stormed ahead with a 7 under.
And I'm loving every bit of that.
And so, yeah, I know. That's another thing. I'm so glad that you brought this up. See, this is your fault. Another reason that I contend that the Masters is ineligible for the best sports day of the year. First of all, you're going to agree with me because I think the best sports day of the year is the first day of March Madness.
Yeah.
Not the first 4, not to disparage anything that goes down in Dayton.
But I think why this week and this day is so big is because we're fresh off the national championship and Final Four. Like, we're searching for something sports related, and it's kind of the first official start of golf season. I know you got the Players, which they like to say is the 5th major, but the Masters is like when it really, really starts to heat up. So I that's why I think, because like yesterday you had no NBA because today is the last day of the NBA regular season. You still had NHL. You still had the Blue Jackets who are fighting for a playoff spot. So there was that yesterday that you could tune into at night. But then right now, there's no NFL. There's no college football. There's no college basketball. We are searching for something, and it's this. It's the Masters. It's Augusta National.
So first of all, I don't think golf plays well on TV. That's just me. It took me I'm 27 now, which means it took me probably 26 years to even understand how it works, because one dude takes a shot on the 13th hole, and then they go to somebody on the 7th hole, and then the next thing you know, you're on the 4th hole, and it's like, I lost track of the first guy I was trying to follow.
There's always the line, and a moment ago. So we're not even seeing the shot live.
No, and it's good for TV. Yeah, exactly. So it's good for TV to have kind of constant simulation. So it's good to have just somebody always shooting something. Yeah. That's good. But it makes it really hard to follow. That's me. I'm not saying it's impossible to be done. If you have a leaderboard on your phone, you can keep a pretty good clue of who's where.
The Masters
who's
does a
doing
good job of keeping that up pretty quick.
Their website leaderboard looks great.
Yeah, I just pulled up the website for the first time, and it's actually the leaderboard that's out there. I did not know that because I have it on the app, and like that's how I've been tracking it, which it's pretty quick. But then now I have it on the website, and it's literally the leaderboard that's out there at Augusta National, which is pretty sick.
I know, it's amazing. And so that graphic is really cool, but I still contend that golf is hard to watch on TV because they're going from one guy to another guy to another guy to another guy to another guy. Like, how do you follow like one person unless you have your, Max Homa tracker on Twitter?
That's fair because especially like today and yesterday on moving day, you're really just watching the leaders. Unless there's somebody that is going really low, like a Cam Young did yesterday, or like a Scotty Scheffler did yesterday. Now, Scotty's going to draw a camera at every shot that he hits because it's Scotty Scheffler, but it also helps when he's going extremely low. Like, yeah, to your point, I didn't see one shot from Max Homa yesterday, and he's in the top 20. He was in the top 10 at one point yesterday. And I'm like, where is this at? So that's the nice thing, too, about the Masters website is you can kind of click on that player and you can see that shot. But yes, it's not in real time. And the one thing that I will bug about the Masters coverage, we're not really seeing any of the golf until late in the day, like when the leaders are teeing off.
Oh, yeah, dude, the first couple of days are weird.
Yes.
They are so protective of it.
For it being this beautiful of a golf course in Augusta National, I feel like you would want to show it as much as you possibly could instead of on streaming services all the way up until 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. And then you have like the whole like Sports Center at the Masters thing.
Yeah.
Where you have like Laura Rutledge talking about the NFL, but like she's doing it with the golf course behind her. So like that's as close as you can get.
Yeah.
And like that's fine. Which technically that doesn't count because I'm saying this day in particular. So whatever broadcasting dilemmas they got on Thursday, I guess, are ineligible to tear down the sanctity of Masters Sunday. But look, you got a good field today. You got Cam Young and Rory McIlroy at 11 under. They're tied for first. Sam Burns at 10 under, who he's been playing probably the most consistently of those three. Because you had
he's been steady this
You've
week.
had a little bit of everything from Young and McIlroy up to this point. Shane Lowry in fourth, and then you got a couple guys chasing.
Shane Lowry had a hole-in-one yesterday.
I did hear about that. Didn't watch it. Heard about it.
It was pretty. I saw the replay of it probably like 10 times after the shot actually happened.
So don't mistake me for saying that Masters Sunday is trash and it's nonsense and I'm not going to watch. I will watch the end of it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, one of the best days on the sports calendar, I can't get down with that. And it's also because
a lot of people like to refer it as one of the best naps on the sports calendar.
Oh, that Cowboys game on Thanksgiving might be the best nap on the sports calendar. Let's be honest with that.
But I'm not in that because it's also feast week, so I'm watching college basketball. So I'm not sleeping during that.
Well, I thought you were talking about now. I'm like, what college basketball could possibly be getting played now?
No, it's feast week. That's probably the second best week of the college basketball season.
Is that when they're all in the Bahamas and Maui and all that stuff?
Yeah, the Players era now in Vegas.
So I'm going to watch, but I also just don't think you can cherry pick a sport that you care, that I shouldn't say you, because that's very general, but like the general sports community. Mm-hmm. We care about golf. Like, look, man, I'm a huge tennis fan. I'm not nominating Wimbledon. That's also a different one though, because if I wanted to, I could nominate Wimbledon, but that's dependent on like, time schedules and stuff like that, because the Australian Open final is taking place at 2:30 in the morning.
Well, that's like the British Open. Like they start at like 1 in the morning, but like the main guys aren't teeing off until like 4 in the morning. But that's why I'm saying like this to me is the official start of the golf season. Now, like before, like I really got into college basketball.
We're not talking about golf after this.
I mean,
are the guys at the bar? Isaiah, you have to chime in on this one because I wasn't at a bar last night. And just based on the sounds of your update, you may have been at one.
Whoa, easy.
That update, it sounded like you.
My voice is struggling this morning.
Isaiah, I thought it was a great update given the circumstances.
I've had 3 lacrosse games in 1 week coaching, and these kids, they don't listen. You got to scream.
Oh, no.
It's been a rough week.
I forgot about that.
I believe that. I believe that.
Are the
And
people
I was at a bar last night, yes.
Okay, thank you. Were the dudes at the bar going over the Masters leaderboard last night?
My buddies are very tuned in. So
As are mine.
We were talking
To be
about
fair.
the Masters and everything going on today. And I would say this, I don't think this is the end of golf talk for the next couple months because this place will turn up for the Memorial.
That's where I was going to go.
Yeah, but
that's where I was going to go because you still got the PGA Championship coming up next month and the Memorial and then the U.S. Open and the British Open. Now, you have some other bigger ones mixed in there that will really draw attention if like Scotty's going for it or Rory's going for it. That's the needle mover are those two guys. And if they're in it with a chance to win, then you're going to tune in on a Sunday at 5 o'clock to watch the finish.
I still categorize some of this stuff as like the Kentucky Derby effect. Like, am I supposed to put that as like one of the best sporting when we don't watch horse racing any other time of the year?
That's the greatest 2 minutes in sports.
Yes, and I think that's actually easier to follow than golf on TV. Now, it's going to be different because the golf that we're going to care about on Master Sunday is going to be the back few holes, and that's when like 95% of the field's already done, so you only have to follow like 3 people. So that's really simple.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think in Super Bowl Sunday is kind of a lazy play. That's kind of just like a cultural phenomenon. And now the thing that I do like about the Super Bowl compared to like other primetime football games, it's at like 6:30 instead of 8:30.
Yeah.
And so
You got the college basketball and college football national championships starting at basically 9 o'clock.
and on Monday nights.
Yes,
I
that
have
too.
no clue what they're doing with that. But
it's weird. I don't get it either.
as much as I have kind of tuned out of regular season college basketball, I guess that would be a little bit hypocritical of me to suggest
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying, like, for me to just slander golf, we never care about it except for one day. And then for me to turn around and say, March Madness day 1, that's the best day on the sports calendar. When, what am I breaking down? I'm not you, is what I'm saying when it comes to college basketball. I'm not you.
Yeah, like I'm not constantly breaking down the golf schedule and golf tournaments like I do college basketball, but like I definitely will for the big ones like the PGA Championship, the US Open, and the British Open, and then of course the Memorial. Like Isaiah mentioned, it's going to really heat up when that comes around in June, I think, or at the end of May. So yeah, that'll be the big thing here for us.
Well, for us locally, but
it's always a big tournament though because it's Jack's tournament.
No, yeah, I'm sure they care about it in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
And I think everything determines if you're local or not to it. If you're local to it, like college football here, and believe it or not, Columbus, I don't know if I'm breaking news, it's bigger here than it is in other places. If you go 3 hours west and you go, and it's different now than when I lived there.
Yeah.
If you lived in Indy 4 years ago, college football wasn't a big thing. It is now because I use good, but here it's bigger. Like people would say New Year's Day in Columbus because you think about the New Year's Six Bowls. That's always been a big thing. That's because college football is big here. The NFL is really big in other places. I'm sure Cole can talk to that. Even in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's huge into the NFL. Like they're talking Steelers there, Super Bowl Sunday. And so depending on where you're at is what's going to be the biggest sports day.
Pittsburgh radio hosts root for the Pittsburgh Pirates to carry them to training camp because they know once they get to training camp, the Steelers can carry them until basically March.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And what's the Penguins are in the playoffs, correct? Or no?
I think. Yes? No?
I have no idea.
Can't tell you. All right, new topic before we go to break. Are Indiana fans already annoying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I lived there. Yes.
Well, I mean, we have a bunch of alum here, so if you know a few, you know that there are a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys.
The Penguins have clinched a playoff spot, by the way.
Okay, whew. We're good on that one.
Yeah.
And there is our NHL talk for the day. All right, hey, we got a gift from the content gods earlier this week, and they are not a fan of your college football team here. We will discuss who they are and what they're talking about next. Stick around, Fan Sports Sunday.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Spring into savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, drive your new Hyundai with payments as low as $94 per month for a 2-year lease. Get spring lease savings on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit payment on 26 Elantra SC, $39.95 down plus tax title first month's payment. 7,500 miles per year and $430.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger, same-day pickup and and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey there, friends. Bill Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co. It's well known High Bank is my go-to when I want an award-winning whiskey. But did you also know that they make the best vodka in America? They have 3 incredible spots here in Central Ohio where the food is just as good as what's in the glass. They've got something for everyone. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. So whether you're sipping on the best vodka in America or simply grabbing a meal with family and friends, High Bank delivers every time. Find a location and a menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Need a roof you can count on? Ramos Roofing has protected homes and businesses throughout Ohio for almost 20 years. Whether it's a leaky roof, storm damage, new siding, or new gutters to protect your foundation, Ramos Roofing delivers quality materials, professional installation, and honest service every time. Get your free roof or exterior assessment today and ask about Ramos Roofing's no-interest financing options. Call 614-761-7663 or visit online at ramosroofingohio.com.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right, you gotta pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Ryan Day's Buckeyes are ready, and so are we, damn it. Join Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, and Tim May for the Pelotonia Spring Game Tailgate Show.
Presented by Key Bank.
Broadcasting live from Fan Fest, Saturday morning at 10 on The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It will be another gorgeous day with plenty of sunshine and temperatures soaring into the low 80s by Sunday afternoon. Tonight, we will see an increase in clouds and winds will start to pick up. Lows fall down into the low 60s. Rain chances do start to move into the region by Monday morning. We'll see those scattered showers continue through much of the week. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
A few things before I tell you who's hating on the Buckeyes. And their opinions are important because their opinions are not opinions, they are a fact. So we'll talk about that in a second. But I got to get to this because I forgot to mention this in the first block, and Reimer reminded me of it. And this is such a good point that I can't believe that I forgot to say it. Okay. So I leave the studio, I come back in, and you say, oh, yeah, Isaiah and I've been talking bets. I'm so glad that you said that word. Because if you could not bet on this sport, and I think about this for a lot of things. If you couldn't bet on sport, and, if you eliminated brackets from March Madness, then that would probably change a lot, too. But if you eliminated sports betting in its entirety, what would we lose care of? I think golf would have to be one of the first things written off the board. I made a good point because he has to think about this one.
You did, but because me personally, I would still watch because unlike you, I like to just sit and watch golf. But
I think we still would watch it.
I think it goes to what
my
I've
whole
said
point is about the contention that this is like in the running for the best sports day of the year. I'm not saying that like no one's gonna care
because but when
the interest like that,
it's a completely different era. But like when Tiger was in his heyday, like if you know that like he's at the top of the leaderboard, you want to watch that happen just because of how dominant he was, probably the most dominant athlete of all time, arguably. And I think the same thing can be said, not most dominant athlete of all time or anything, but like if Scotty or Rory are in contention because of the images that those two present, that if they're going to win and add to their legacy, then that's what will draw the attention of golf, even without sports betting.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm not saying that, and look, man, you could probably put a bunch of stuff in the category, including football, by the way. I mean, we would still watch like crazy.
I think baseball would be second.
Yeah, that's one where you can bet on it all the time.
Because you're struggling to get viewers now anyways.
Yeah, well, baseball plays way better locally than it does nationally.
Yes.
And I kind of don't understand why. If everywhere, like that... And I don't have any data on this. I've just heard somebody say it before, so I'm going to repeat it. MLB plays better locally than the NBA. But, like, national games, like, if you have a baseball team, and I've heard this in Detroit. I'll give you one example, and I'll assume that this is universal across the board, whether that's a safe assumption or not. And you can use New York as this example, too. Like, if you had, and you can tell me Cleveland. If you have a baseball team, an MLB team, and an NBA team in your market, the MLB team is more popular with the fans. But I don't understand why at the national level, the NBA is so much more popular than MLB.
Yeah, that's a great point because now I think about it, I don't know, Isaiah, would Cleveland lean more towards the Guardians and the Cavs?
I think it's the Cavs, but the Cavs are kind of unique because of the LeBron thing.
That's what I was just thinking.
Because they've been so good with LeBron that it kind of changes it. But if you went to Cleveland, the Guardians are huge. I mean, they've been so consistently good. So I mean, they're like 1A, 1B up there. But what's funny is the Browns are still monumentally bigger than both.
And imagine if they tried too.
I know if they won.
if they spent money, imagine what the Guardians fan would be like.
The question about Cincinnati before they got Joe Burrow, because I feel like that kind of flipped things for Cincinnati.
No, the NFL will always be king.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
because baseball is so big in Cincinnati, like they do a parade and everything on opening day. They host every opening day. Because it's so big, I wonder if the Joe Burrow factor maybe flipped it when they were starting to descend.
I may have lived in the one city in America where MLB could outweigh the NFL in St. Louis. But I still contended, even though I was in St. Louis after the Rams had already moved back to Los Angeles. So But I still told them, I'm like, there is no way that you can convince me, because the Rams and Cardinals were never good at the same time. So the Greatest Show on Turf and all that stuff, that was like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then St. Louis, then the Cardinals took over in like the mid to late 2000s and then went on a reign of terror there. But they were never really good at the exact same time. I contend that if they went head to head of like they're both really good, the Rams would have been more popular than the Cardinals, just because football is more popular than baseball.
Yes, and like the winning matters. Like the Cardinals going on that run in the early 2010s where they were getting to World Series and winning World Series, like that is a major factor. And like if the Reds were to suddenly like get to the playoffs consistently and get to the World Series, like that would be so big for the city of Cincinnati that I feel like it would outweigh the Bengals.
Dude, I can't get down with that. Outweigh the Bengals. Football is football, especially in this state.
Now it wouldn't.
I know we make jokes that Cincinnati's Kentucky, whatever, but like it is still.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Right now it wouldn't because of the Joe Burrow factor, but I think if you got towards the end of the Andy Dalton years, if the Reds were really good, it wouldn't even be a conversation because baseball is so important there in Cincinnati.
I want to agree with you because I want to stand up for baseball, but I can't.
Football's king. Football is king and everything. That's a fact.
All right, we're going to roll over the Buckeye topic and why bookmakers hate you. But when I say hate, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But so I saw this too as we try to nail down the best sports day of the year. Hello, it's Master Sunday, and we got guys playing today, but all the important people tee off after this show ends at 2:00. So we'll worry about that later. But so Bleacher Report put out an article. Keep in mind, this is in 2018.
Okay.
You'll figure out why the year is important in about 3 spots.
Okay.
So they put out a list ranking.
Wait, okay, sorry. You're just getting there. Sorry.
The 40 greatest sports days of the year, which is the question you were about to ask. So Bleacher Report 2018 ranked the 40 greatest sports days of the year. So for whatever reason, I was expecting them to rank 1 to 40. They ranked 40 to 1. So you can imagine
that's how you get them to stay longer.
I know. That's right. And you would imagine my surprise when the first thing I see is the Coca-Cola 600.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Number 39. We're not going to go through all 40. This is just the first thing that I saw. National Signing Day for college football.
Interesting. I feel like that could be a lot higher.
My initial reaction for that was no way. Nowadays, where you don't know who's going where, regardless of where they're committed, that's actually a little bit more exciting.
That's true. Luka Bogovac at North Carolina said a few days ago that he's going back and playing for Mike Malone, and then yesterday he's in the transfer portal. So
that's not signing day, but thank you.
I know it's not, but it's anything can happen. You can't trust anything.
That's true. You may have G Leaguers go to commit to Providence.
That's true.
You didn't know I knew that.
That is true.
All right, here's the one that I was laughing at based on what year it was. So again, I told you this article's from 2018. Number 38, the NBA Slam Dunk Contest.
Oh my gosh.
There are 365 days in a year, depending on the year. Could be 366. I contend that the NBA Slam Dunk Contest is the 367th best day on the sports calendar.
There's gotta be something. It's not in the top 40. It's lost all of its juice. Like that. 2016 was at its peak, and it hasn't gotten back to that.
All right, let's go to what we're actually here for. Super Bowl number 1. Not surprised that that's on the list.
Yeah.
The final NBA Finals game. That doesn't make sense because you don't know what day that is.
Yeah.
So you can't guarantee anything with that.
You mentioned, well, I guess 2018, the Cavs got swept that year, right? So like it wouldn't have factored, because I was trying to factor in if a LeBron Cavs was some way tied into this.
Hey, in 2018, you could predict the end of that thing. Game 4. So you knew the schedule immediately. This is outdated even for 2018. They put number 3, the BCS title game, which the BCS was dead for 5 years at that point.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So this is lazy. Number 4, they put the Final Four plus the title game.
Okay.
I don't even agree with that. I think that's maybe the worst weekend. I like the games in March Madness, or the days in March Madness where they have just a bunch of games back to back to back. I don't like where we only have 2 games to follow.
I think the first day of March Madness would be better off there, but the Final Four Saturday is still, I think, a top 10 day in sports.
I am now going to celebrate this article that I was previously making fun of. Because at 5 and 6, they have Championship Sunday in the NFL. Yes.
Okay.
And the Kentucky Derby. They put the Kentucky Derby above Masters Sunday. So now I want to celebrate it.
And it's above opening day in baseball.
Yeah, well, okay, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Number 7, the first Monday night football game of the year. Really?
No.
Well, you don't like the doubleheader where they have the 7 o'clock game and the 10 o'clock game with Chris Fowler and Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky?
And then we keep doing that for the next 5 weeks or so with doubleheaders on Mondays.
Is Masters Sunday even on this list? I've made it to 17 and I don't think I've seen it.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Sunday at the Masters, 19th.
Okay.
Sandwiched in between the Daytona 500 and the NBA draft. By the way, I contend the NFL draft is one of the best days of the year.
That's valid, I think. I mean, this NBA draft will be in that conversation for how loaded it is, but it depends on the talent for the NBA draft for sure.
And here you go. As we throw it to break, number 23. This is stupid. Duke versus UNC Day.
Whoa. That's got to be higher. Wait, hang on. Was that above Ohio State, Michigan?
They probably have rivalry week somewhere.
Okay.
They had.
I feel like Ohio State, Michigan deserves its own thing, like North Carolina, Duke does.
Well, I mean, that's just rivalry week in college football. There are a bunch of.
That's
you got
true.
Auburn, Alabama that day.
That's true.
You have
the Egg Bowl is the day before.
The Egg Bowl 2 days before. You used to have once upon a time you had LSU Arkansas on Friday night.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's get to that football team. Let's get to the Buckeyes and why the odds makers are not fans of yours. We'll talk about it next. Stick around, Fan Sports Sunday. 2 minutes.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Joseph Senta and Dr. Barry Zeta at Ohio Vein and Vascular are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. They can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free Healthy Leg Screening. 3 locations to serve you at Polaris, Reynoldsburg, and now open downtown. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
And he caught it. No way. What a grab. Noelvi Marte. Ellie De La Cruz is on his horse, and they're waving him to the house. Suarez swings. He drives this. It is gone. Eugenio Suarez puts the Reds on top.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Grab me a new cross-match bingo from the Ohio Lottery.
Sure thing. You said match bingo cross?
No, the newest $10 scratch-off with prizes up to $500,000.
Yeah.
The ticket's so big, it's only sold at retail counters. The one with over $15 million in prizes? Cross-match bingo.
One cross bingo match coming up.
However you say it, cross-match bingo combines cash word, bingo, and match games all into one for even more fun. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543. We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Spring game is going to be on our air next Saturday.
It's crazy that it's already here.
I know. Can you believe that? All right, so we got that going down on April 18th.
That's a top day for the city of Columbus.
I remember, would it have been 2021? Yeah. Spring game 2021, when this place turned into Gotham City. I was not there. I was a couple streets over from the fires that were being lit and the cars that were being flipped over.
That's right.
Because some people forgot what it was like to be able to go to a football game because of what happened in fall of 2020 and the COVID restrictions. And so when it was time to go buck wild, they sure did. In the spring game 2021.
It's the taste of football. Like that, like we were talking about. Football's king here. Like that's the thing.
I got to imagine that a 9.5 over-under win total for Ohio State is one of the lowest in a while.
Definitely.
So the good news is that they're not even odds. So you got a skew here, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's skewed in favor of the over. So you're at minus 158 on the over and plus 128 on the under. So, the odds there aren't tremendous in terms of like the actual gambling of it. So if you're just viewing this as a fan's perspective, they're basically projecting you to go 10-2 as your most likely outcome. If you are looking to bet it, well, then you probably want to parlay it, because why would you want to risk 158 to win 100 or whatever it's going to do? So that struck me as a little low. I don't know about you guys. 10.5 probably would have been my assumption, because much has been made about this schedule that's been out there, and it is tough.
Yeah.
So the big stretch, obviously.
I think it's fair. I think it's a fair line, because I'd say this is probably the toughest road schedule they've had in a while. You're at Texas, you're at Iowa, you're at Indiana, and at USC. There's a bye week mixed in between, but that's back-to-back games. Also,
and then at Nebraska is right before Michigan. So
then, not to mention, you have Oregon at home and you have Michigan at home.
Ryan Day is not a coach who gets trap gamed, so I'm not that worried about Nebraska.
Yeah.
Although
they're a basketball school now, anyways.
They're
Nebraska ball, man.
Hey, Hoiberg. Not bad. But
that's what I'm saying.
That one doesn't scare me a ton.
No.
There's no question that their fan base is one of the most rabid in college football, so give them credit for that. But like
you said about Ryan Day avoiding trap games, like I still feel pretty confident that the experience that this group will have, like they will know what's going to be at stake the next week after that.
Not even that. They're just better.
That too. That too.
They're just more talented than Nebraska's going to be. And I don't know who. Gosh, we're going to have to play the transfer portal game on this one. Isaiah, can you look up who Nebraska's quarterback is going to be this year?
Raiola went to Oregon, correct?
Yeah, to be Dante Moore's backup.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's right. That's right.
So, regardless, point being, I don't know who Nebraska's quarterback is. Maybe it's somebody I heard of.
Anthony Colandrea.
Oh, Colandrea. He went. So I think he went Virginia, UNLV.
If it's not a Hoiberg, I don't know it.
Nebraska now? Okay, so this is a weird term to use in college sports. A journeyman quarterback.
Oh, okay.
But that's what we got. So that one doesn't scare me that much. But the big stretch is obviously at Indiana. Then you get a bye week, which is fortunate because you could use one with this stretch.
Yeah.
At Indiana, bye week, at USC, home against Oregon.
Yeah.
That stretch is going to determine perhaps the season.
Like the host of your show likes to say, it's a gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet. And so I think, and this isn't me just being like a contrarian, just if you told me at the beginning of last year, you got two big games against Texas, they're going to have the same starting quarterback in both games, you're going to have the same starting quarterback in both games, and you're both going to have really talented rosters, I'd say you probably split home and home. So I'm chalking this one up as a loss at Texas.
Okay.
Just by default. And so I do think that you will be more talented than at least 2 out of 3 of Indiana, USC, and Oregon, because that's kind of just how it goes.
USC just has the loaded freshman class that they have coming in. Like they got
a million of those, and then they all turn out to be bums.
Is this a make it or break it year for Lincoln Riley? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
in fact, he may have already broken.
that's
Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. The greatest secret that ever existed was that Lincoln Riley was that Oklahoma was like 0-4 in college football playoff appearances. I think one of those was Stoops, but they had a few Lincoln Rileys that apparently he was just hiding in plain sight because people were too busy beating up my Fighting Irish to bother to recognize that Lincoln Riley was not it. Then he goes to USC, and now he's kind of been sniffed out a little bit. But yeah, that one's, I guess, only scary if you care about like the time zones and the travel and maybe something weird could happen.
That early in the season. Now, it's not the opener.
I mean, it's Halloween.
Well, okay, wait, hang on. I was thinking we were still talking Texas.
Oh, I'm talking about USC.
USC, yeah. It's definitely interesting because the West Coast swings are always difficult, especially now in college football and college athletics. Like, you still saw them take care of business against Washington last year. They battled tough against Oregon out there in Eugene. So, I mean, it's going to be an awesome game. Two of the biggest brands in the sports. I will say, with the line at 9.5, I would feel a lot more confident in the over if the Texas game was at home this year.
Yeah, because It's definitely on the table to go 9-3. I don't think it's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
But I'll give it the credit because
I'm still confident in the over, but because there's that many tough road games that we didn't see last year for Ohio State. Like, they're going to be tested early, which is great, and that could set them up for the games at Iowa, at Indiana, and at USC. But then you factor in what Oregon's going to present this year. Who knows what you're going to get
a returning quarterback who's expected to go in the top 3.
Exactly. Like, that's going to be a fantastic game. And then who knows what you're going to get from Michigan this year in the first year with Whittingham up there. So, like, it's definitely in the cards for 9-3.
Yeah, so it's not going to be, like, unheard of. It will be probably worst case scenario.
Yeah, I don't see it going any lower than that.
No, because I'm somebody who I kind of just like, all right, line it up. Who's more? This is college football. Who's more talented? The more talented team probably going to win.
You still have Julian Sayin at quarterback, who was a Heisman finalist. You have Jeremiah Smith, who was the best player in college football. Like, your top guns are still there. It's the question marks on the defense of how you're going to replace the key guys from last year that's really going to factor into a lot of this.
Yeah, and I guess I have the trust factor in Ryan Day with that. And because I said the same thing the year prior when they lost a ton of dudes to the NFL and replaced them with more NFL dudes. So that's cool. Like, I didn't know that Arvell Reese and Caden McDonald were going to be first rounder and borderline first rounder.
Yeah.
Because those were two guys who were just rotating in.
The hype around them last offseason was big, but like going into last offseason, we had no idea who those guys were, and then here we are in the offseason and going into the season where they're looking like aliens out there.
I know, and so I just trust that there are going to be other dudes who we haven't heard of yet who, give it a few weeks into the season, and then we'll have somebody else who's like, oh, dang, like that's somebody who was down on the, like a Peyton Pierce. Peyton Pierce actually rotated a decent amount.
Yeah.
Credit to him for his freshman year. But, you're losing both Reese and Siles, so you got to replace both interior linebackers.
And Caleb Downs.
Yeah, and so, Christian Allegro or whatever his name is, who's coming from Wisconsin. Riley Pettijohn could play a bigger role. Peyton Pierce will probably be, instead of being second in the rotation, he'll be first in the rotation.
Just sounds like the most linebacker name, too.
It's a tremendous name.
That's what I thought about Arvell Reese when I saw that. I was like, that just looks like a stud linebacker name.
And so, I trust that there are going to be dudes who we may not be familiar with now. And so that's kind of, I hate to just simplify it like that, because I do want to, that kind of lends itself to college football talk where you're just kind of it's the same 5 schools every year. And to a degree it is. I mean, not last year because Indiana-Miami was the national championship game. But I'm trying to like talk myself out of the lazy stuff of just being like, oh, hey, like let's just pick logos because it is that easy. No, hey, there might be an upset on the schedule that you're not looking for. And if you look for it, you may have to find like, okay, it's a tough spot. Like sometimes you run into situations where you have a team that's playing like, I don't know, like 3 games out of 4 on the road against decently tough opponents. And then you also have the factor that you're everybody else's Super Bowl and then somebody catches you. So like there are ways to kind of factor it.
But even these road games, they're not like major upset type upsets to me. If it were to happen, it's not like getting beat by Purdue. Like Iowa's still a really good team. USC is going to be pretty solid. And then Nebraska would be the one that I would call would be that big upset if it does happen.
Yeah, I guess so. But again, Ryan Day doesn't get trap game like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So 9.5, that would kind of determine your season. You definitely can't lose. Now, the interesting thing about this, and we can carry this over to the next segment, is that you're not just chasing Indiana in this scenario. And I'll explain what that means next. Stick around, Fan Sports Sunday.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, you know how we remind people not to be a sump pump grump this time of year?
I sure do. If people's sump pumps aren't pumpy, they sure can get grumpy.
And down in the dumpy.
But our $89 sump pump inspection can replace all that sump pump grumpiness with happiness.
Even if it doesn't rhyme.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our expert sump pump plumbers will make sure your sump pump is working to spec and ready to pump. We'll even do a camera inspection of your downspout drainage system to make sure there aren't any backups causing problems down the line.
And turn your sump pump grump into a flow-it-all, know-it-all.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, I'm starting to think not everything we do has to rhyme.
But rhymes help people remember things they like, Aaron. I mean, you like hokey pokey, don't you?
I do like the hokey pokey.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Think you know Buckeye football? These two say, hold my beer. The Beat with Austin and Berm.
Sponsored by The Waterworks.
Daily on the Fan's YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
We're not making a segment out of this. This is just for you. And this is quick. Are you aware that in his past 7 games, Cormac Ryan has 3 20-point games in the NBA?
I love you for bringing this to the airs. That man is...
keep it brief. We got people listening to us who don't want to hear about this.
That man is sick in the head.
Okay, thank you.
He's done a lot of fun Twitter numbers for me, so I appreciate him, and I love that he's having this. He's trying to get a contract,
I said keep it quick.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
That's all.
So in the last segment, we talked about how Ohio State has the over-under win total of 9.5, which sounds pretty low relative to typical Ohio State standards. They got a tough schedule. They got a tough run in the middle there where they got 3 games in a row of Indiana, USC, and Oregon, who will all be highly ranked, at least to start the season. So they got to kind of earn their spot as that starts on October 17th. They got a bye week mixed in there, so it won't be the worst thing in the world.
I think I can confidently say that Indiana and Oregon will still be 2 top 10 teams by the time they meet.
Probably. And glad you brought up those 2 teams because Ohio State, I think it would have been a little bit expected. Although, you know what? I don't even want to say that. Because with Mendoza going to the NFL...
is he a system guy?
I don't think so.
That was a conversation we had on the Buckeye show. That
is Fernando Mendoza a system quarterback?
That Indiana fans are starting to bring it because they think the quarterback this year is going to be way better than Mendoza.
J.J. Hoover at TCU thank you. J.J. Hoover at TCU did have like some promise heading into this past season, and then all his former head coach Sonny Dykes wants to talk about is how many interceptions he's thrown.
Yeah.
So he was somebody who kind of entered the year with a little bit of hype, and then you never really heard from him again throughout the year. So I don't know. I take away from that, having not watched him play football. I don't know about you guys, if you guys were, burning the midnight oil, breaking down TCU tape in the middle of last year.
I did not know.
Yeah, you were probably watching TCU basketball tape.
Yes, I was.
Checking out what Jamie Dixon's up to. Yeah. Is he still there?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, thank
David
the Lord.
Punch. He's in the portal now. He was on the team that just beat Ohio State in the NCAA tournament.
That's why you were watching TCU.
I'll take him. Exactly.
There you go.
I 100% would. I think he's going to Texas, though, sounds like.
But what I assume, shocking, just if I'm following the storytelling of J.J. Hoover, he's probably a talented dude. He's probably a talented player who people are just trying to, bring it out of him at Indiana. So that's probably how that'll go. But I don't know if I would have expected Indiana to be. I probably would have expected them to have a higher win total than Ohio State. Probably.
What's theirs?
Theirs is, if I'm not mistaken, their over-under is 10.5, and it's pretty even. It's minus 115, minus 105, and so it's actually, they are favored to go over. So 11-1 is their expectation, but the over-under win total of 10.5 for Indiana is about even there with the money.
And I think that goes over, just looking at their schedule at a quick glance.
But the interesting thing is that Oregon is also above Ohio State. So Oregon's win total over-under is at 10.5. Now, the under is the favorite there. So technically speaking, Oregon and Ohio State are both projected to go 10-2, according to these win totals.
Okay.
So that's even. But when you have Ohio State and Oregon playing each other.
Yeah, one of them's going to give there.
Yeah, so if they're both 10-2, and I guess they would say that Oregon is more likely, is a more safer 10-2 than Ohio State based on those projections.
Man, these schedules stink for Indiana and Oregon.
Let's say, that factors into it too, is that you have these mega conferences, and this is just a disaster what these conferences have become.
Yeah.
But when you have these mega conferences, which I think actually need to blow up into becoming mega conferences, so then you can have divisions within the conferences that just go right back to where we were in our childhood. So it can be done. We just need to go, we need to give us too much of what we want. Too much of what we don't want, actually, to then take us back in time to give us what we want. So you can have the Big Ten with 4 different divisions, but the 4 different divisions have 8 teams. And it's wait, this kind of makes some sense now.
Yeah. And the Pac-12 is trying to revive itself.
Yes, except that could have worked if they all went to the same conference. It didn't completely split up.
That's true.
So Stanford and Cal going to the ACC.
Yeah, can we send them back to the new?
Yeah, and then Utah.
It's weird.
Actually, Utah and Colorado in the Big 12 makes enough sense, but Arizona and Arizona State going with them. And then you got the other 4 going to the Big Ten.
This is basketball reasons for me, but I love Arizona in the Big 12. I love
the Big 12 is a
Arizona.
loaded
Yes,
basketball
I love Arizona in the Big 12 for basketball purposes. That's why I wish Gonzaga would have jumped the gun and joined the Big 12 as well, because they're only going to be in the Pac-12 for basketball. That would have been just a big ginormous. That's the thing. That's the interesting thing with the Big 12 is how are they going to get out of the Big 10 and SEC talk and kind of get into the spotlight themselves. You know, like all the talk that's being out there with Brett Yormark and Cody Campbell about the Friday night games. That is the way that they're only able to get outside of the shadow of the Big 10 and SEC for the college football playoff race and everything, to at least have some confidence that they can make some noise.
I was halfway listening to what you said. No, I something went wrong with my tabs, and I'm just like, where'd my Buckeye schedule? I was trying to follow my Buckeye schedule, and then it just disappeared on me. So I'm having technical difficulties.
I just keep hitting
here.
the back button, and I'm back on Ohio State's schedule.
There you go. Okay, so still third in the Big Ten. How does that land with you over there? When Ohio State's projected, technically speaking, they are projected third in the Big Ten. If they both go 10-2 with Oregon, obviously it matters who beat who head to head. But third in the Big Ten, missing the Big Ten championship game?
I like the line total where it is. I think it makes sense. The schedule's tough. You still see Ohio State as the favorite for a national championship in the Big Ten. So they're not questioning the team so much as how tough the schedule is. But my question is why would the Buckeyes land on 9 wins? Why would the season end that way? How could it end that way? And it's one thing that the way we ended the season, if you asked what our biggest weakness was last year, people wouldn't say the defense. No. They wouldn't say Julian saying. They would say what? The offensive line.
Yep.
100%. And this year going into this season, a lot of people are talking about the defense and what we're trying to fill in. But my question is still, can we protect Julian? If you can protect Julian saying, you're good, can you run the football? Last year we ran the football against who? UCLA? Like, what are we talking about here? We protected Julian against who? Like, the entire season, and I can say it as a Buckeye fan, our schedule was easy. The O-line looks good against easy teams.
Bo Jackson had a great running game against Michigan.
He did. The Michigan game, I was like, okay, now this is real football. We're running the ball now against a real team. But next season, the question, bringing back a lot of the same offensive line, is can you protect Julian, and is Arthur Smith going to make the run game take a step? Because you look at the past couple of years in the college football playoff, who's won? The best running football team in all of college football. Indiana, Michigan did it. Georgia was for years.
Ohio State with Henderson and Judkins.
Exactly. So can we run the football? Last year we couldn't. We could do it against some of the bad teams. Not so much against Miami and not so much against IU.
That's one of the weird things about football is that this sport is so trench dominant. Like, you win football by winning the line of scrimmage, but the thing is that offensive linemen don't have stats, so we don't talk about them, even though they're the most important.
Well, honestly, don't they get the pancakes?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really see that on.
That's not a majorly tracked stat.
We're not looking at their football reference. We're not drafting them to our fantasy teams.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's like we don't talk about them. But yeah, like, you win and lose in the trenches. But the interesting thing about that, Isaiah, is what I would say is I don't think the Buckeye offensive line got really found out until postseason play, until the Indiana game in the Big Ten championship and obviously the Miami game. And then it was like, holy cow.
Well, that was the two toughest opponents.
Right. But that goes back to my point of just picking logos all the way. It's like, well, they got away with it for 12 games. Yeah. It's like,
But this year they would. If
you're
they
more talented than everybody.
If they came back this year and the offensive line played the same way, there's no way you get through this gauntlet of a schedule. Like Oregon, Indiana, Texas, they're going to take advantage of that if the offensive line plays that way again.
I imagine so. And so that would still be the worst case scenario to me. And now let me ask you this. I have, not that I'm a Buckeye fan, but if I were a Buckeye fan, I'd have no fear of Michigan. Like, I think that was more of a, like, we got to beat, like, almost like beating yourselves in a way. Like, letting them beat you 4 years in a row. Now, there were a couple of years where Michigan was really, really good.
And they won the battle of the trenches.
Yes.
They completely dominated Ohio State's offensive and defensive line in those years that they beat us.
Which, by the way, is why I kind of think that, like, the whole sign stealing thing, not that it didn't matter, but it was a bit overrated. Like, oh, those games don't. It's like, dude, they punched you in the mouth up front. It's like, they didn't need your plays to do that.
They could not stop the run game at all. And the first Michigan game up there, and then the one here when Donovan Edwards was running loose for like 85-yard runs back-to-back possessions.
This might be my new take, is that the Connor Stallions thing had nothing to do with beating up. I shouldn't say nothing.
Be careful with that now.
Aiden Hutchinson didn't get 3 sacks because of sign stealing. He got 3 sacks because DeJuan Jones got pancaked in reverse.
That's true.
So I'm not saying, but it got to a point definitely with the final one when Michigan
when Ohio State was the 20-point favorites.
Yes, like that. That's beating. That has to be beating yourself.
Yes, that was a mental thing.
You're better than them.
How are you going to get over the hump in that one? Yeah, that was a mental thing.
So I'm not worried about them, but absolutely, you guys are right. Oregon. I'm also not worried about USC, to be honest with you, especially coming off a bye. Whatever. But Indiana, Oregon, Texas. I don't think you go 0-3. I don't. And so based off of that,
I think you get
overs safe for me.
I think you lose one.
Yeah, probably Texas.
Here in April, I'm saying they're going to lose at least one of them.
I don't think Ohio State's going undefeated.
Yeah,
but I think the over 9.5 is safe. But again, minus 158, you may want to parlay it. All right, Jacob Reimer's here. Let's put him to use next. Stick around, 97.1.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Spring into savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, drive your new Hyundai with payments as low as $94 per month for a 2-year lease. Get spring lease savings on every model from Elantra to Palisade. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit. Payment on 2060 Elantra SC, $39.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year ends $430.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Isaiah Jacob. Masters action will continue today. A quick look at the leaderboard. Tied at the top, Rory McIlroy and Cam Young at 11 under. Sam Burns at 10 under. Shane Lowry and Jason Day round out the top 5 at 9 and 8 under. Coverage begins today at 2 p.m. In Cleveland, the Guardians also with a win. They beat the Braves 6-0. Guards third baseman Jose Ramirez had a solo home run in the first that made him the first Cleveland player to go deep against all 29 MLB teams. The Guardians will take on the Braves tonight again at 7:20. The Blue Jackets in the win column yesterday, 5-2 versus the Canadians. With 2 to go, they take on the Bruins tonight at 6 as the CBJ continues to chase the Flyers for a late season playoff bid. In the NBA, the Cavaliers wrap up their season today against the Washington Wizards at 6 p.m. The Cavs are locked into the 4th seed in the playoffs, so they will not have any starters or rotational players suited up. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, so some of the important guys are starting to tee off here in the next hour, it looks like. Names that I recognize is what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So there's Xander Schauffele later in the hour, Brooks Koepka later in the hour.
Let's go, Xander. Have a day.
Yeah, Wyndham Clark later in the hour. So those guys are all in the top 20. So they'll be later on in the show. We'll have some more up-to-date stuff on them. Victor Hovland is 4 under today through
Wow, yeah, he's moving. He's
My
creeping in on the
goodness.
top 20.
Yeah, so more money for them. So by the way, I saw this. So I don't know who Jason Sobel is, but apparently he's either like a radio host on Sirius XM for the golf stuff, or I don't know, but he's some golf journalist of some sort.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I don't consider radio hosts journalists. I consider us entertainers. So he's somewhere in the golf entertainment industry.
Okay.
And apparently, so Scotty Scheffler, I don't even know what day this was. This had to have been on Friday, because Scotty Scheffler had a pretty poor day on Friday for his standards, shooting 2 over.
Yeah, that was the first time he's been over par and around at the Masters.
So I'm going to assume that just based off of the demeanor of Scotty Scheffler in this clip, that this had to have been on his worst day, because yesterday he was 7 under. So that's a hell of a round.
Yes. No, the question was asked after he went 7 under.
After he went 7 under, this question was asked?
Yes.
Okay. So Scotty Scheffler was asked by this Jason Sobel character, who I'm not familiar with, about where the round could have gone otherwise, and apparently he just did not care.
That was a 65 today. What did it feel like it could have or should have been?
That's just a terrible question. Next question. Awful.
What enabled you to...
Okay, so yeah, first
the
of all,
laugh at the end makes it a little bit nicer from Scotty, but still, I just do not expect that from him.
I know. And so, first of all, he says right then and there, hey, you shot a 65 today, so if I gave it 2 seconds, I would have gotten the answer to my question. But then he goes, hey, what could it have been or should it have been?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a terribly disrespectful question. Just be like, hey, like, I mean, that's a weird way to phrase it. But
61.
Yeah, it is
72.
Like it could have been maybe like a 63 or something like that, which was really good. But still, 7 under is a ridiculous score, and I would have understood it more asking it on Friday after he had his over par round. Like, hey, like what went wrong? Like what could have gone better to where like you shoot under par and you're climbing up the
Scotty
leaderboard.
doesn't feel appreciated after shooting 7 under, and it's like, oh, what, you want me to shoot 11 under in one round? Jeez, dude, thanks.
7 under at Augusta National, given all the conditions there, they're beautiful, and that's making the course harder somehow because it's firming things up. It makes it harder, and the 7 under even more impressive, and we saw 2 of those yesterday.
I know. Cam Young being the other one.
I know. I love that.
Your boy. Again, it goes back to the fact that if we weren't betting on this thing, we wouldn't care as much, but that's okay. Because you know what? We can say that about every sporting event ever.
Yeah.
So that's universal. I just think it applies more to the less than sporting events, such as horse racing and golf. But that's my opinion. Now, make no mistake about it. If it's down to the wire at the end, I want to watch, and you can catch it on 10 TV. So check out the Masters on 10 TV today.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm a company man. And so all I'm saying, again, I'm not saying the Masters sucks. I'm not saying any nonsense like that. All I was saying was, in any of the conversations about what are the best sports days of the year, if I hear today mentioned as one of the best of the year, first of all, you're betting on it. That's for sure. Second of all, just I don't know about best of the year. So that's all I was saying.
It's not the best of the year, but I think it's top 10. I think it's a top 10 day. Isaiah, what do you think?
I think it's a solid day. I think maybe top 10, back end of the top 10.
Yeah.
I think maybe it depends on where you watch it, who you watch it with, if you enjoy it by yourself, if you go somewhere and watch it with your friends, but I'd say back end top 10.
Here's one advantage that I'll give to the Masters, and it has to do entirely with CBS having the rights to March Madness. Although I guess, TBS had the championship, so I don't know what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
But the Masters gets promotion like crazy, piggybacking off of, like, when it is, because they run commercials for it, they run promotions for it all the time during March Madness. So when the Masters is, because that gets beaten into your brain.
And that first commercial during a Monday Night Football game on ESPN, it does hit pretty different in January when you're just like, oh man, that's our first Masters commercial? Okay, here we go. We're actually kind of close to it.
A little bit. So something to look forward to, but we got a pretty good field. So let's begin our update. If we have to carry this over to the next segment, that's fine. But let's start with the transfer portal. So first of all, with the Buckeyes, here who is on their way out. Let's start at the top. Devin Royal, who was probably like I don't know if you want to call it like a big three, or I don't even know. But so the backcourt obviously is what carried you most of this season. The two stars would have been Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. Yep. But Devin Royal was a very solid number 3. And so a Pickerington dude, you're a little bit surprised that somebody with 3 years in the program enters the portal who's from Columbus. Not that we know everybody's motivation. I think that we can be a little bit lazy with that sometimes. So maybe I just mention it to say that doesn't fit the typical storyline.
Yeah.
But again, everybody's got different motivations. So just because of what other people do when they're from here, like whatever, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I'm from here. I'm a Notre Dame fan. Who cares?
So I'm wearing North Carolina today.
I know. So, hey, no judging. We're all good. Hey, we got some Buckeye representation back there with the Ohio State Rose Bowl.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Some would that have been the Oregon game when Ohio State was up like 35-0 in about 2 minutes?
Sure was.
There you go. So he's got that Rose Bowl shirt on. So it's all good though. But Devin Royal going to the portal and then immediately being projected to go to UConn, and he got the do not contact tag, which I hate because that's one of the most nonsense things ever. But is Devin Royal UConn good?
It's definitely an interesting fit with Dan Hurley, but I mean, he's definitely shown at moments this year to where he can be a crucial piece to that for sure.
He's a really good role player.
Yes, and like they're gonna lose a lot this year at UConn. I mean, every team's losing a lot this year because you have no idea what rosters are going to look like. There's like 2,000 players in the transfer portal right now. But I mean, that was the biggest thing for Ohio State this year was Devin Royal's transition to the 3, and I felt like you got some good moments at it, and then there was times where it wasn't the greatest. And maybe that's a thing where it's because it's Dan Hurley that maybe he's able to get the best out of him. Or something like that.
Is he going to be a starter? Like, is he going to be a starter at UConn?
They're losing Alex Caravan. I don't know what their freshman class looks like. I know they're bringing back Jaden Ross. That was just announced this morning or last night, I think. So
and he's probably not the only transfer coming in.
Yeah, and they're preparing to throw a bag at Braylon Mullins to not go into the draft, which to match what you're going to make at the back end of the lottery, that's going to be a pretty penny. So it's. Right now, if that's where he ends up, yes. But you have no idea how the rest of the roster is going to fill out.
Because my question, at the end of this season, I was kind of assuming Devin Royal probably would be gone because of the Anthony Thompson coming in. And you start to question, where's his fit in the starting lineup? Is he going to stay here off the bench? Because obviously Amari Bynum probably filling in at the 4.
And a guy that's been 3 years in the program, going to be a senior. He's from Columbus. Like, he's not going to want to come off the bench in his senior year.
Exactly. So I thought that he would go somewhere where maybe he'd have a larger role. So I'm a little bit shocked that he is going to UConn, or he may be going to UConn, where if he comes off the bench there, we couldn't have convinced him to come off the bench here. I don't know. It's different.
I mean, I don't even think he would have needed to come off the bench. I think he's a solid player. But like, just solid. In fact, when he first jumped in the portal, I thought, like, does he think that he's like a 1 or a 2 somewhere? And then he goes to UConn, and we're like, I guess he hasn't gone to UConn officially, but all the projections are leaning that way.
I think I've heard UConn and Villanova, but all the projections are saying 100% UConn. So.
Yeah, and he's got the do not contact tag. So those things are not wrong like that.
It's definitely an interesting fit for me, just because what we know Dan Hurley is, like, he's a psychopath, he's a madman, like, but.
He wants to win. That's kind of the takeaway.
Yes.
He has to take a lesser role.
100%. But Dan Hurley has been a guy to where he's going to get the best out of his guys. And
we may have cracked the code. He wants to win.
Yeah. And
he's got, one more year left?
And UConn's been to 3 titles in 4 years. So like that's a pretty safe bet to take then.
All right, so we got some more transfer portal departures, and we got a couple of arrivals that just happened this week. We'll break those down because we got the guy to do it. Stick around, 97.1.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Did your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Columbus Worthington Air. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. At CWA, we treat your home like it's our own with safe, reliable service backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit CWAOhio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
We are the keepers of the wild. America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse. Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
As a teacher and coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced
players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
The Jackets are making a push to the playoffs.
Islanders and Adam Fantilli. One more time. Puts it in the net.
Listen to every exciting moment, including an extended pregame show for weekend games. Proud to be your home of the Jackets. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It will be another gorgeous day with plenty of sunshine and temperatures soaring into the low 80s by Sunday afternoon. Tonight, we will see an increase in clouds and winds will start to pick up. Lows fall down into the low 60s. Rain chances do start to move into the region by Monday morning. We'll see those scattered showers continue through much of the week. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
Herbert and the Skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Yeah, we got you to 2. And then at 2 o'clock, Westwood One stuff. And then our pregame coverage for the Jackets is going to start at 5 o'clock. They got the Bruins tonight. They are out of the wild card running. Boston will be taking up one of those wild card spots, as will Ottawa. So it's just Metropolitan play is what we care about now, as the Jackets are sitting at 92 points. Technically one spot out of the playoffs because they're fighting with Philadelphia, who's got 94 points. So both those teams got 2 games left. Not impossible, but there's some work to do, and it's not looking good.
The backs are fully against the wall.
That's right. What are you made of?
Yeah.
All right, so we think we cracked the code on why Devin Royal may have transferred. We think that maybe he just wanted to win with his one final year of eligibility, because when he first entered the portal, I had thought that because he played pretty well for the Buckeyes as a number 3, as a tertiary option. And so I'm thinking, does he think that he's good enough to be a 1 or a 2 elsewhere? Well, when you're projected to go to UConn, no.
And that's a blue blood.
But that's fine.
Being projected to go to.
But that's fine. I think he's a solid role player.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what UConn will ask of him. And so, first of all, we'll see if he goes there, because that's not official.
Yep. It's just being projected, crystal balled, all that.
We got a few other departures in the transfer portal for the Buckeyes this week. We'll get to the additions soon, because that's what the real news is, and we got the guy who knows his stuff when it comes to that. So
I tried to.
Colin White, is this just the all Ohio high school team here?
These are 3 straight Mr. Basketball winners.
Yeah, so Devin Royal, then Colin White, then Gabe Cupps. So, or actually, Gabe Cupps looks like he'd be older.
Yeah, I think
actually, he looks like he's the same class as Royal. So one must have won their junior year, one must have won their senior year.
I think so. I don't know how it all worked out, but those are 3 Mr. Basketballs for the state of Ohio.
Zach Fleer is just driving off the road right now, listening to us not know the order of the Ohio Mr. Basketballs. Colin White heads to the portal. His greatest contribution this year was motivating Michigan to kick their ass. We then move on to Gabe Cupps. Gabe Cupps was brought in this year. Gabe Cupps took a beating this year from the fans. And
yeah,
I get it, okay? You can be a defensive role player. That's fine. You come off the bench. That's fine. Not every transfer has to be all that.
Yeah.
But you can't be such a defensive player that with the amount of minutes he was a regular piece of the 8-man rotation.
He was a solid bench guy that's going to come off. He knew what he was brought in to do, and that's give you good defensive minutes, a few buckets every now and then, but you're the backup to a potential All-American in Bruce Thornton, who had an All-American-like season if this is any other season. But, also, first thing I want to say
That's
here.
what my friends call him, cardio cups.
Shout out Centerville. If Beamer's listening, he'll get that.
He'll get that. Yeah, we know what Centerville. He'll get that. That was some super inside name. Shout out Centerville.
Centerville. Heard of it.
Shout out Centerville. He'll know what I'm talking about. Brandon Beam is from Centerville, Ohio. Got it.
Just during games, every time Gabe Cupps did something, it felt like Paul did a guard from Centerville or something like that. And so then Beamer and I would always say to each other, shout out Centerville.
Shout out Centerville.
Yeah.
Hey.
Little behind the scenes look.
Yeah,
there.
apparently you guys are speaking in code. Hey, Centerville, ever heard of it?
I know that really wasn't like
I don't know what that was.
Really secretive.
Yeah. But the thing about Gabe Cupps is that you can't be a guard who only gets, 1.7 points per game. Even up to not everybody has to be the biggest scoring threat ever. So that's fine. If he's there to be a defensive role guy, a hustle guy, a kind of grinded out guy, fine. But you're a guard who offers nothing offensively.
What were we really asking for him? Like, are we asking for 9 to 10 points a game off the bench? I mean, because you're looking at Bruce and Mobley and Devin Royal to be your main guys. So what are we asking of Gabe Cupps?
Here's what I'm asking of Gabe Cupps. Okay, I'm asking for a 3-point percentage greater than 25%.
Yes, that's fair.
I'm asking for a general field goal percentage above 37%.
Like, this is maybe a deep pool, but I'm not asking for a Cedric Russell Duke every game where you get 12 points every game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Isaiah?
Yes.
He knows ball.
Okay.
That was when Ohio State beat Duke in Coach K's last year when they were number 1.
Oh, when they came here.
And Cedric Russell came off the bench and had 12 points.
That was the Paolo Banchero year.
Yes, it was. How'd that season end for them?
I'm going to guess losing to North Carolina in the Final Four.
Yeah, correct. You got a dinger over there for me?
Yeah.
There we go.
I got a ding.
Keep the ding ready. How did that season end for North Carolina?
They lost in the national championship game.
What was the score at halftime?
I do recall that they were leading by 15 points.
All right.
Partially why Hubert Davis is not the man there anymore.
Let me see about this. But here's why I like Gabe Cupps. And I guess we can tell the story next. He's not here. But Gabe Cupps, as I was told, obviously offensively challenged, shall we call him? But he seems to have a little bit of a sense of humor because the Iowa game in the Big Ten championship. So he's on the court. He has 1 3-pointer. He's got 3 points. He plays 4 minutes. He gets 3 points.
I think he had a big 3. It was a big 3 in that game.
Yeah. And so I think, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he may have been the only Buckeye off the bench with any points in that game. That may have been one of those, where the bench wasn't really. Yeah. In fact, this is the one. So Ohio State had 3 points off the bench against Iowa in the Big Ten tournament. I may have said Big Ten championship, my mistake. In the Big Ten tournament game against Iowa, there were 3 points off the bench. It was a Gabe Cupps 3-pointer.
I know that we're asking just for any kind of bench production, but that's the key thing about having depth. That's why Taysom Chapman coming along was huge for the way that he did.
Taysom Chapman also had 0 points in the game I'm speaking of.
Yes, but you're not going to get it from the same guy every time. Yeah, it would be nice if you do, because if you look up at Michigan, Trey McKinney was fantastic for them off the bench as a freshman. And so if it is nice to have a guy that can give you 7 to 10 points per game off the bench for sure. But when you have 2 guys like Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. that are going to give you 20 and 16 or 15 a game, and then you've got Devin Royal, Amari Bynum, Christoph Tilly, whatever, they're going to get you. How much are we really going to be getting off the bench?
Right. But anyway, here's why I like Gabe Cupps.
Okay, sorry.
So, as I was saying, in the Big Ten tournament game against Iowa, so Gabe Cupps hits a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
They are the only 3 points that the bench had. And I'm looking at the box score from that game. Gabe Cupps played 4 minutes. He barely played. Yeah. So there was a timeout of some sort. I don't know if Iowa called a timeout, Ohio State, or a TV timeout. I don't know. Gabe Cupps hits his 3. There's a timeout on the floor. He comes back to the bench and says, guys, I need some more offensive help out there. All right? So he's got a good sense of humor about himself. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then who else? One more. Taysom Chapman. A lot of Ohio State fans were really warming up to him at the end.
Yeah.
Because the second half of the season, and eventually we'll get to Justin Pippen and Andrea
Yelovich, yes.
Sounds like a tennis player.
It does.
But Taysom Chapman is somebody who I think Jake Diebler was openly challenging. Because early on in the year, a lot of the press conferences, when it was kind of seeming like the bench production wasn't great, it's like, okay, you have bench players who are seeing the floor and you have bench players who are benched for the entire game. And so the media was asking Jake Diebler a lot throughout the beginning of the year, talking to him about, hey, you got these bench players who really aren't doing much in the game. I mean, they didn't phrase it like that because, why would they do that? who's that up front? Not even me. But so Tayson Chapman was somebody who I think Jake Diebler may have been talking about, because he would always respond to those questions with, look, man, like, when guys get in the game, they need to be making aggressive. Like he said, he'll tolerate mistakes as long as they're aggressive mistakes, but he doesn't want to put someone in the game and then watch them just kind of exist.
Yeah.
Which that kind of describes Gabe Cupps a little bit, but he was basically saying, like, he was openly challenging the guys who weren't seeing the floor at all, saying, like, when we're in practice and when they were getting a couple minutes in the game, which, I mean, you can only do so much, like 2 or 3 minutes of game time.
Right.
But he was challenging guys like, somebody's got to step up and look like they want to be there and not just exist on the floor. And so Tayson Chapman started to get a little bit more playing time, and there was an injury to somebody, Mobley or perhaps, and he started getting a lot of playing time and then was in the starting lineup a couple times. And it's like, okay, maybe Tayson Chapman was the guy he was talking about, of like, hey, man, like, you're capable of doing this. You just need to go out there and do it.
Because he was being the guy that was being aggressive offensively, actually looking to score and give that energy off the bench to help out the guys in the starting lineup. And it's interesting how Chapman and Gabe Cupps are basically the opposite. Chapman would be aggressive offensively. He'd want to get you buckets and get you that energy. But then Gabe Cupps would be the guy on defense that's getting you energy on the defensive end, that's guarding the other team's point guard and trying to make things physical for them. And you weren't getting that from Tayson Chapman on the defensive end. You weren't getting that from Gabe Cupps on the offensive end. So that's where you kind of saw the rise from Tayson Chapman, was because of how aggressive he was on the offensive end towards the later part of the season.
And then I just realized that he's a redshirt junior, so I'm not even sure I was aware of how
he's
old
had a
he
lot
was.
of injuries, and it's like everyone was like why did it take this long to realize that Tayson Chapman was going to get you this? Well, I don't know that he was 100% healthy at the start of the year when he was coming into it.
And that's just how it goes sometimes, but he had a nice stretch there in the middle. So we'll put a pin in this conversation as we wrap it up with the additions coming in. We got a fun middle hour here. We're going to carry that over into a fun third hour, so stick with us here on 97.1.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
It always seems to happen at the worst time. You're finally in bed after a long, hard day, and then you hear it. You sit up, heart sinking. Is that coming from the ceiling? All of a sudden, it's a middle of the night flashlight hunt to find the leak. But don't worry, Newman Roofing has you covered, literally. With more than 3 decades in the business, we've seen just about everything a storm can throw at a roof. Our teams know how to spot the problem, explain your options, and fix it right the first time, with craftsmanship and care you can feel good about. We're not just here for a quick patch job, and we never will be. We're here to make sure your home stays protected season after season. So when it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, choose the company you can trust, Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, just to catch you up on the Masters leaderboard, I say that as if like anything has happened. No, Cam Young is still in first place, tied with Rory.
Victor Hovland's having a day.
Okay, yeah. So Victor Hovland's 5 under, and he's through 10 holes right now. So he's tied for 15th, trying to basically make some more money for himself. I don't think any legacies are on the line, but you know he probably
unless he has a second 930 and catches the guys in the lead, and he's the clubhouse leader. then while these guys haven't even teed off.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
He's probably regretting that first round 3 over right now.
Yeah.
But we have some names who you might know. Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka. Is it pronounced Tyrrell Hatton?
Tyrrell Hatton.
Tyrrell, that's what I thought, but I think Rothman was saying Tyrrell. Or, I don't know. It looks like Tyrell to me. He doesn't look like a Tyrell, though, I can tell you that.
And he's a feisty guy.
Yeah. Tommy Fleet was teeing off soon. So this back half of the noon hour is going to include some names who we're familiar with.
I would really love if Matt Fitzpatrick would lock in.
We were talking about... Why? Let me get some bets.
Yeah, maybe.
No, we're going to public school. We're putting her to sleep, apparently. The word on the street. You're getting updates from home about like, oh man, like she's not doing well. She's having a bad day. You're like, well, I'm here screwing around. I'm about to play Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader in the next segment. So we're a little bit busy over here. All right, we got a fun game in the next segment. Not going to do it this segment. And we may have to carry that one over. I hope we do carry it over into 2 segments because it's going to be so much fun.
I think it will.
All right, Jacob Reimer is the basketball savant, but we got to make sure if you're gonna host radio in Columbus, Ohio, you got to know your football. So we're gonna play some Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader in the next segment, and that is going to put him to the test. Now, I created this game.
I'm not confident in myself. I'll just say that.
This is also a test of how fair am I?
Okay.
Because I might make these quiz questions and you'd be like,
could be more
what
like
the
high
hell
school.
is this?
I'd be like high school, middle school questions.
Yeah. So when I go to trivia nights on Wednesdays, they have them categorized as elementary. So it's every round is 5 questions. It's elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and like master's degree or like undergraduate and master's degree, something like that.
Yeah.
This may be a little bit more of that than 1st through 5th grade, but they're labeled as 1st through 5th grade.
Okay.
So this is not necessary. So like the real game show is asking you questions that actual 3rd graders should know. I'm not entirely sure that the average 3rd grader should know some of the questions that I'm asking you that are labeled 3rd grade questions. But the good news is you're going to have a lifeline. We have 3 different lifelines. They're all going to be Isaiah Jacob.
Okay.
So he's playing along with us, and he is here when you need him.
Fantastic. Let's go, Isaiah.
I'm telling you right now.
Hello.
He's ready.
Is it me you're looking for?
It absolutely is. And so Isaiah Jacob is going to be needed. Now we're going to play the full game.
Great.
Yeah, dude, you don't know what he's got over there.
I know. I need to get more like you guys with these drops and everything.
Oh my god. Well, the problem is that when I'm hosting, my brain, I can only do one thing at a time.
I've seen what your brain looks like on a computer screen with the amount of drops that you have. It looks like a mad scientist.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But the problem is that I can't think as a host. Did you just see how I paused in between think and as? That's because I'm typing around here trying to find drops and like screw around. It's 2 different sides of my brain that it's much better when I'm not talking and only listening. So, I got to just keep it as one thing. But anyway, I don't know what we were talking about, but there were a couple of portal additions by the Buckeyes. So we have exercised all of the single
I will tell us what
departures.
What you were talking about was talking about how I'm a college basketball savant.
Yes, you are.
And did you guys see my tweet got on the broadcast for One Shining Moment?
I did see that.
Oh yeah.
It was texted to me, and it was definitely discussed by multiple people in the office when I got here at work. See our boy Reimer up there?
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing was that when Colin Behringer told Tim's like, what? He tweets something about North Carolina. Like, North Carolina got eliminated in the first round, but I love how he just assumes
it was about North Carolina.
A North Carolina related tweet.
Well, and everybody was saying that it was like a Magic Johnson-esque tweet because I just tweeted the Big Ten has won a national championship in basketball, but the point of that was...
No, but you actually tweeted it as it happened instead of Magic Johnson, who would have tweeted it the next day as if it were breaking... Because apparently he just watches everything on delay.
I know it's not like the biggest thing to like get like on national television or anything, but the point of it was
playing humble over
the video that I put with it. It was
get down on it.
It was the video that I put with it. I don't know what it's from. I know it's from some movie, but I've just had it saved and bookmarked in my Twitter. That I'm like, hey, like I'm going to put this. It's a celebration. Like, oh my gosh, the Big Ten's drought actually ended. So that was the point of the actual tweet was the video, and that's what got up on TBS before One Shining Moment.
All right, tell us about Justin Pippen. So he's entering year 3.
Well, the big thing is that he's the son of Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, so Scottie Pippen and or Larsa Pippen might be in the shot at some point. But going from Michigan to Cal to Ohio State, what should we expect?
I of course, like I was watching games of him at Cal, and he's a really solid defender. That's what you're going to get from him.
Cups.
Yes, but he's better offensively. He's good with the ball in his hands. Orchestrates off of pick and roll actions, which I think can fit nicely with John Mobley Jr. I know that this hasn't been a popular pickup, I don't think, because of who Ohio State was being mentioned with, but the biggest thing with the transfer portal was fit. And I think if assuming you're going to get John Mobley Jr. back, I think this can be really nice with John Mobley Jr. because it allows him to move off ball and use the shooting ability that he has and have him come off screens, stuff like that. Justin Pippen can do that. He's a really strong creator. He can get into the paint, get paint touches, which is a big emphasis that Ohio State and Jake Diebler want to do. And I think that can be really nice with a fit with John Mobley Jr. in the backcourt, assuming he's coming back.
All right, and then they bring in, I'm seeing former Kentucky forward. You have a go at this name before I destroy it.
Andrea Jelovic.
That's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
See, I watch a lot of tennis, so I should have a decent guess at European names.
Yeah.
But what do we know about this fella?
The biggest thing with him is the potential that he has. He's got a really high ceiling.
Don't want to hear that.
I know that means that
he wasn't very good this year.
I know he averaged 5 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. But he likes to extend the floor. He's really versatile. He can shoot the three a little bit, and I think that's the big that Jake Diebler is trying to get. Like, just look at Christoph Tilley this year, a guy that can kind of facilitate, can kind of play on the perimeter, still bang on the inside. He's still good with his back to the basket and can rebound. But if you go back, he played in the ABA overseas. He's from Croatia. That's the biggest thing. If you want to go and watch some tape, go watch some of that because he can really light it up from three. He's playing against grown men in these leagues.
I think Buckeye fans want like a real tough, nasty big, though.
I agree. And that can be Ojan Muna, or however you say it.
Or Anton Bond. What's his name?
Anton Bunk.
Bunk.
But I think that's what they're kind of hoping that you're going to get from Ojan Muna, assuming that he's healthy and can be ready to go this year, and have those two kind of go back and forth with minutes. You've still got Ngovin down there. And the front court's going to be pretty loaded. I know it's not the most appealing of pickups. I know everybody wants to get the big swingers and the big fish to show like, hey, like maybe this is some momentum here, but it's really all about system fit. And like, yeah, I know Adi Mara was great for Michigan, but he wasn't one of the highest rated transfers last year in the cycle. But he was great in Dusty May's system. Maybe Jelovic can be great in Jake Diebler's system with what his game presents.
Jacob Reimer, you are on the clock in the next segment. Stick around. Let's have some fun. 97.1.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah. Isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
Kemba.com. Refi your car loan at Kemba Financial Credit Union and get up to $500 cash back the next day. Sometimes a little extra cash is all you need to put a boost in your step and your bank account. More money, less stress. It's easy. Apply at Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Ends April 18th, 2026. Equal opportunity lender.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose.
Look how little you are, you sweet girl.
Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
Guiding them through the world so one day they can guide someone through life. With shared experience, confidence grows and the path becomes clear. It takes time, patience, and love. But the reward lasts a lifetime.
Hey, good girl, Bella.
You don't just raise a puppy. You raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose. Give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
I have a special announcement. Common Man and Timmy is the most listened to radio show in the state of Ohio. Coming in at number 2, Common Sense. You should listen anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. It's sports conversation, but with a drink and umbrella as a garnish. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, to whom it may concern, I'm talking to you two. The wind is blowing out to left center field at 18 miles an hour in Wrigley Field today, and the Pirates-Cubs over-under is 12.5.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
That's got to be one of the highest there's been, right?
Yeah, I mean, Coors Field is always the one that has the highest over-under totals.
Yeah.
The air's thin up there, ball travels, but...
Wasn't it the game, like, in Mexico or, like, in London where, like, the over-under was, like, 15 or something like that?
Yeah, when they went to London, and which I don't know why, but...
I think they just assumed that the balls were juiced and they're going to put on a show.
And they were, and they did.
I do think the over hit in that game.
Sounds like it. All right. Are you ready to play a game?
Absolutely.
Because we got to test you. You are the master of college basketball. We need to make sure that if you're going to host radio in Columbus, Ohio, that you are also a master of football.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I guess. Ready as I'll ever be.
That's right. So I got 10 questions here for you.
Okay.
I've labeled them first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade difficulty. Now, that is probably terribly inaccurate, to be honest with you. But basically, we'll start really easy,
okay,
medium, hard, really hard.
And I have to go in order of it first. Like I have to answer.
And we'll have American Idol waiting music ready for us as we await your answers.
Fantastic.
So Ryan Seacrest is getting the results ready as we come up. So I got a pro football category for you and a college football category for you.
Okay.
Now, for the sake of letting me being dramatic, even if you know the answer right away, let me ask the question twice.
Yes, okay.
You get 3 lifelines.
Twice?
Yes.
Okay.
Just so I can be clear.
Okay.
You get 3 lifelines in this game. They are all 3 going to be Isaiah Jacob.
So Isaiah.
There you go. Your Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader rules. You get a peek, a copy, and a save. So a peek is when you get to look at Isaiah's work before you submit your answer.
How am I going to look at his work before if he's on the other side of the glass?
This is radio. You ask him what he's going to answer, and then he tells you, and then that is his consultation. You don't have to put what he puts.
Okay.
But you can.
Okay.
If you want to use a copy, that means you have to put whatever Isaiah's answer would be.
Okay.
So he's basically submitting your answer for you.
Would that not be the same as the peek?
No.
Okay.
Because if you peek at his work, you don't have to put what he puts.
Okay.
But if you copy, you got to.
Okay.
And then you got the save. That comes after the fact. That means we consult Isaiah after you get a question wrong. If he knows the answer, he can save you. And even if you run out of lifelines and you lose, we're still playing the rest of this game because, damn it, I put in the effort to try. Question. All right, so we'll start from the top, from the bottom and work our work.
I got to graduate to the next grade.
What did I just say? What was that? We'll start at the bottom and work our way to the top. All right. Your first grade NFL question. Again, allow me to ask all these questions twice.
Yep.
First grade NFL. In which city is the Pro Football Hall of Fame? In which city is the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Canton.
That is correct.
Yes.
Your first.
I don't get a ding or anything.
I don't know what's right and wrong.
That's your lifeline speaking, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I knew that was the answer, but
Okay.
I'm waiting for Cole to give me the go.
That is correct. Ding, gong, something. Your first grade college football question.
Okay.
In our lifetime, Oklahoma has had 4 quarterbacks win the Heisman Trophy. Name one of them. Hold up. I said twice for drum.
Yep, I stopped myself.
In our lifetime, Oklahoma has had 4 quarterbacks win the Heisman Trophy. Name one of them.
I almost answered probably the one that you wouldn't have expected me to guess. So I will say it anyways, Sam Bradford.
That is correct.
Hey.
Second grade NFL.
Because the easier ones would have been Baker or Kyler.
Mm-hmm. I think Jason White would have been the 4th.
That probably would have been the more shocking one if I said that one.
You know what? I would have ripped up this quiz right here, right now, if that was your answer. Second grade NFL. Which team drafted Eli Manning? I will ask it again.
Okay.
Which team drafted Eli Manning?
That would be the Chargers.
That is correct. I was trying to see if I could get you on that.
Nope.
All right. Second grade college football.
I'm locked.
Now, this requires you to know what happened before you were born.
Oh, this could be tricky.
It's second grade. We're okay.
Okay.
Which Heisman Trophy winning quarterback never played in the NFL, but instead was an 11-year point guard in the NBA, primarily with the Knicks?
I should know this.
Which Heisman Trophy winning quarterback never played in the NFL, but instead was an 11-year point guard in the NBA, primarily with the Knicks? Your 3 lifelines are a peek, copy, and save. However, the save comes after the fact. So you got a peek or a copy.
This is a true testament of ball knowledge because it's a basketball player.
I know. Which I thought would, give you a little something.
I'll go with a peek.
What's Isaiah thinking?
Thankfully for you, I remember when the Cavs played the Knicks not too long ago, and this person was brought up during the playoffs.
Okay.
So my answer would be Charlie Ward.
Okay. That's not where I was thinking this was going, but I will go with Isaiah's answer, Charlie Ward.
Jacob has exercised or exhausted his peak.
Yes.
You could probably use both words in that sentence.
Yeah.
Isaiah bailed you out. You are correct. You are still in the game.
Let's go, Isaiah. Come on.
I'm kind of disappointed that you couldn't get that one by yourself, but that's okay.
I know. That's on me. That's not showing good ball knowledge from me.
I think this one's going to break you.
Oh, no. This is 3rd grade, right? 3rd grade NFL?
Third grade NFL.
Okay.
I think a lot of our listeners would get this question. Not all of them would. I think a lot of them would. So we're in the medium category. Who was Jim Nance's broadcasting partner for CBS prior to Tony Romo?
Oh.
Who was Jim Nance's broadcasting partner for CBS prior to Tony Romo? I just saw both hands go to the head.
Yeah. This, because I can kind of remember it. Gosh dang it. I don't want to do 2 in a row, but I can't even think of a name.
If I were you, I'd rather use a lifeline. Which means all that's left is the copy.
I know, because I can't.
Now, you could fire off a name if you think you have something.
I don't know a name to use.
Well, then you got to use a lifeline.
I know.
So the save is still in play. So Isaiah's playing along with you.
Yes.
If Isaiah has the correct answer, you can fire off an incorrect name, and then he can save you. You get 1 save as well. However, that comes after you already submit an answer. You don't even have an answer to submit.
I know.
Which means
I'm going to have to go copy.
You may have to go with the copy, and you may be beholden to whatever Isaiah says.
I'm going to go with a copy.
I hope Isaiah has an answer.
I do have an answer. I don't know if this answer is correct.
Okay.
And I feel like this would have been better used as a save had you been the one that answered it. But I'm going to go with Phil Simms. That's who I'm going to say.
He's still in the game.
Let's go. Thank you, Isaiah. Man, I just used both of them back to back. This is not good.
Isaiah can save you on this one. If Isaiah's a big college football fan, you got it. In fact, I think you should be able to get this.
Okay.
3rd grade college football. In 2013, on the final play of a tie game, Alabama missed the game-winning field goal short.
Yeah.
Auburn's Chris Davis returned the missed field goal for a game-winning touchdown, creating the play that is known by what nickname? In 2013, on the final play of a tie game, Alabama missed the game-winning field goal short. Auburn's Chris Davis returned the missed field goal for a game-winning touchdown, creating a play that is known by what nickname?
I thought you were going to ask the player that returned it.
I thought about doing that, and then I thought that's
Chris Davis, because it's also a baseball.
You would have gotten that?
Yeah.
That was almost your 5th grade college football question. Wow.
I'm going to go kick 6.
He's still alive. I can't believe we've made it to 4th grade and you're still in the game.
Let's go. Come on, man.
This is actually kind of miraculous because I thought that I was going to make this game way too hard. I underestimated this. You know what? Hey, we still got 1 lifeline left. We still got 4th grade and 5th grade for the NFL and pro. I almost said the NFL and pro. It's the same thing. For the NFL and college.
Now it is.
Yeah, we're going to carry that over to the next segment. Isaiah's going to give us a Sports Center update. We'll give you Masters updates along the way as well. But Jacob Reimer is still in the game.
Let's go, man.
Of all you smarter than a 5th grader, we're heading to 4th and 5th grade. 1 lifeline is left. How's this going to end? I don't know, because to be honest with you, he's exceeding my expectations right now. I'm excited. Stick around. 97.1. See you at the top.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Kroger makes it easy to save on fuel. Just redeem the points you've earned to save up to $1 a gallon at the pump. See store for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have 0-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist, then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Yesterday in MLB action, the Reds rolled the Angels 7-3. Ellie De La Cruz led the way with 3 hits. Spencer Steer added a solo home run. They're back in action today at 1:40 to close out the series. In Cleveland, the Guardians also with a win. They beat the Braves 6-0. Guards third baseman Jose Ramirez had a solo home run in the first that made him the first Cleveland player to go deep against all 29 MLB teams. The Guardians will take on the Braves tonight again at 7:20. The Blue Jackets in the win column yesterday 5-2 versus the Canadians. With 2 to go, they take on the Bruins tonight at 6 as the CBJ continues to chase the Flyers for a late season playoff bid. In the NBA, the Cavaliers wrap up their season today against the Washington Wizards at 6 p.m. The Cavs are locked into the 4th seed in the playoffs, so they will not have any starters or rotational players suited up. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are you still in your pajamas? We are. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, so this game is going a lot better than I thought it was going to, which is great.
I don't want to get too braggy and be like, oh, man, I know ball, because I still got to pass 4th and 5th grade.
I know, but the trouble of it was is we were playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader?
I answered what was maybe going to be a 5th grade question correctly.
Yes. So just to recap where we're at, because, we may have some, all the time, every segment we have new listeners. So we're playing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader with Jacob Reimer. He is the authority on college basketball, but he's in the host chair today. And when you're hosting radio in Columbus, Ohio, you got to know some football.
Absolutely.
And so we're doing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? So far, he is still alive. He has exhausted 2/3 of his lifelines as Isaiah Jacob is serving as every single lifeline playing along. The first grade NFL question was, In which city is the Pro Football Hall of Fame? You got that by yourself. Canton, Ohio.
Yep.
First grade college football. In our lifetime, Oklahoma has had 4 quarterbacks win the Heisman Trophy. Name one. You named Sam Bradford.
Yes.
That was correct. I tried to catch you on second grade NFL. This would have been a real test to see if you really know your stuff. Or if you really don't know your stuff. I guess it's more of like a dummy test. Second grade NFL, which team drafted Eli Manning? You did get the Chargers.
You almost got me, but nope.
I was almost wondering, and I'm asking every question twice, so I almost wonder if I asked that question just one time, if he would just would have snapped it. Oh, the Giants.
I went straight Chargers.
No, you got that one. Second grade college football.
I didn't know if I...
This was sacrilegious that you, Jacob Reimer, could not get this one. Which Heisman Trophy winning quarterback never played in the NFL, but instead was an 11-year point guard in the NBA, primarily with the Knicks?
And is the
Charlie Ward.
It is the current coach of Florida A&M.
Basketball?
Yes.
You're Mr. College Basketball. He's a current college basketball coach at the D1 level.
It's on me. I maybe should not have mentioned that.
So, well, first of all, Isaiah's 27, I'm 27, you're 26, going on 27?
Yes.
So that kind of sets the tone for maybe age being a factor with some of this stuff.
Okay.
But still, that's something that you should have just heard of before.
Yeah.
And so you used your first lifeline.
That was a peek.
That was a peek, which means that Isaiah got to tell you what his answer would be, and you got to kind of consult him on it.
Yep.
And then you liked the answer that he gave you, Charlie Ward, and so you locked that one in and you got it correct. Now, Isaiah, this was kind of an underrated detail about that. Isaiah did say that he knew that because that was brought up on a recent Cavaliers broadcast. Did you just learn that a couple weeks ago?
No, this was when they played the Knicks in the playoffs 3 years ago.
Okay.
That's when I learned it.
Ooh, well, you put it to memory, apparently.
I did. They put him up on the screen.
I didn't know if they played the Knicks 2 weeks ago.
Was
and
he
you're
in
like,
attendance?
Yeah, he was at the game. They did the whole thing.
Okay.
So yeah, because he would have been. He was a point guard for the team that played. I think in back-to-back Eastern Conferences, won one of them, and I think they lost to the Spurs in the NBA Finals.
Sounds right.
Yes. So that was your peak. You liked Isaiah's advice. You took his advice, and you submitted his answer. You got it correct. Third grade NFL was who was Jim Nance's broadcasting partner for CBS prior to Tony Romo. You couldn't come up with anything, and so you had to use your copy. And you copied Isaiah's work, and he said Phil Simms, and he got it correct, so you're still alive there.
Yep.
Third grade college football was in 2013 on the final play of a tie game. Alabama missed the game-winning field goal short. Auburn's Chris Davis returned the field goal for a game-winning touchdown, creating the play that is known by what nickname? You said the kick six, and thank goodness you did, because Isaiah couldn't have saved you because he would not have come up with that one.
I had everything else. I couldn't come up with a name. I'm like, what were they calling that?
Yeah.
Couldn't get
Okay.
it.
The kick six.
Now,
And with the Eli Manning question, I was thinking about it for a little bit longer than I maybe came off as, because I didn't know if you wanted LA Chargers or San Diego Chargers.
Chargers is fine.
Yeah.
Either
Would
way.
have been San Diego.
So we advance with one lifeline left. It is the save. That means that you have exhausted the peek and the copy, so you cannot consult with Isaiah prior to giving an answer.
Yep.
Your one lifeline is a save, which can only happen after you already get an answer incorrect.
Yes.
So there's no more consulting with Isaiah pre-response.
Yep.
You are in fourth grade. We will advance. We got 4 questions left. Fourth and fifth grade, NFL for both, college for both.
Yep. Let's do this.
And these questions were also curated with the idea of how many of our listeners would I expect to get this correct?
Mm-hmm.
Fourth grade NFL. Peyton Manning won his first Super Bowl in the 2006 season against the Chicago Bears, who were quarterbacked by whom?
Oh, man.
Peyton Manning won his first Super Bowl in the 2006 season against the Chicago Bears, who were quarterbacked by whom? Brandon Beam is listening.
And he is stewing right now if he is.
Dylan Tyre is listening. The common man is listening.
The one that I want to...
We work with many Bears fans.
I know. The one that I want to say I know is not correct.
Well, think out loud, because this is the radio. So hypothetically, who would you say?
I would say Jay Cutler, but it's not that.
Jeff Foxworthy, when he hosted the show, he would interview his contestants all the time. Look, man, we got to fill the air. We can't think in silence. This is the radio.
You're right.
But I will need an answer at some point.
Can't think of a name, so I'm just going to say Jay Cutler. And it's not correct.
Jay Cutler would be incorrect.
Yeah.
Which means that we have to
use my save.
Turn our purview to behind the glass. Can Isaiah Jacob, knowing that Jay Cutler was not the quarterback of the Chicago Bears in the 2006-2007 Super Bowl, can he name and save you and keep you alive in this game and give you the correct answer?
The name that I think this is correct. If it's not, it's going to be a horrible pull. The Bears quarterbacks have been so bad for so long that
is it Caleb Williams?
Like when I say this name, it doesn't sound like a quarterback for the Super Bowl.
Cole Curley has his back to you.
No, I don't want to give a reaction.
I'm going to go with Rex Grossman.
Nailed it.
Let's go.
You are still alive.
Isaiah, my freaking guy.
Isaiah Jacob has saved you 3 times in this game as we advance to 4th grade college football. Here's the problem. What I've detected from you in this game is that the biggest hurdle is the age gap. It seems like the Charlie Ward thing, that's pretty commonly known that Charlie Ward won the Heisman Trophy, then played in the NBA. The fact that you didn't know that makes me think that you're not fully aware of what went on before you were born in the football world.
No.
That's going to be a problem.
Oh, man.
Because a lot of our listeners would probably know the answer to this next question. However, the age is going to be the issue here.
All right.
4th grade college football. Isaiah, are you ready? Can you tell me whose voice this is?
The royalty of college football is in assembly at the Rose Bowl 2006. Bush, Leinart, Young, and their legion. By consensus, the teams ranked 1 and 2, with nary a whisper of dissent. The site for this ultimate showdown in college football is one of the famed arenas of sport, the Rose Bowl, where the festival of postseason play was started more than 100 years ago in the city of Pasadena, California. Hello again, everybody. A Happy New Year to you.
Whose voice was that? As many of our listeners over the age of 30, and when I say many, I mean darn near 100%.
This is from the 90s.
Well, that was from 2006.
Oh.
But that was his final broadcast.
Oh, man.
That was the 2006 Leinart, Bush, Young. That was the 2006 Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it said 2006 in the clip.
You see, I'm out because the only name that I think of with the Rose Bowl is Musburger.
Well, I need a first name and a last name. Just go through do the Childish Gambino thing and just do the random name generator.
Brett Musburger.
Isaiah, hypothetically, would you have saved him?
I would have saved you.
Dang.
I think I'm going to tell you the name. I think it's correct. And the only reason I know his name is because of Whoa Nelly, and it's Keith Jackson.
Isaiah would have saved you if you had a lifeline left. So,
hey,
Jacob Reimer...
I made it to 4th grade.
No. I need you to lean into that microphone and say, I don't know. I'm Jacob Reimer, and I don't know football.
I'm Jacob Reimer, and I don't know football.
And we're going to clip that off, and we're going to play it whenever we need it. So, hypothetically, because I put in the effort to come up with this game...
Yeah, give me the 2 5th grade
All right, you two can play as a team now, since we got 2 5th grade questions. Hopefully the listeners are having a good time. Geez, another Bears question. I guess just... I didn't even think about the fact that you're Beamer's producer. 5th grade NFL, who did the 85 Bears beat in the Super Bowl?
Would that be the Bills?
Isaiah, what would you have said?
85 Bears, Super Bowl.
I think it's Bills.
You think it's the Bills?
Yes.
Bills feel right.
Yeah.
Right? It has to be.
But that's the only one that I can think of pre-2000 that's notorious for losing Super Bowls.
It's either the 3 teams I'm thinking of are the Bills, the Patriots, and the other one would be the Packers.
Well, the Packers would be in the NFC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I would either be Patriots or Bills. Let's do Bills. Let's do Bills.
I wish you needed saved, and then he shouted Packers and say, no, they were too busy playing them 2 times a year already in the regular season.
I was thinking about teams that were consistently there.
Yeah.
I would be between Bills and Patriots. We can run Bills. Let's do it.
If he didn't say the Bills, would you have said the Patriots?
I would have said the Patriots.
Dang, man.
I'm getting text that says Patriots.
He would have saved you on that one, too.
Yeah.
Because if you said Bills and got it wrong, he would have said Patriots and got you.
We needed a save. We needed a save.
All right, the final 5th grade college football question. This one's lesser known. In which city is the College Football Hall of Fame?
Oh, I feel like I know this, though. I'm thinking, because I know Kansas City is basketball.
Oh, I know that you know where the Basketball Hall of Fame is.
Yeah.
Well, Springfield, Massachusetts, is where like the Basketball Hall of Fame is, right?
There's one in Kansas City, and there's one in Massachusetts. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like it's got to be a southern state or something. Maybe. I'll go Tennessee.
I said which city?
Or which city?
Mm-hmm.
That's a different. That's different.
There are only 4 in Tennessee.
We'll go Nashville.
What would you have said?
I have no idea. I would not have been able to save you on this one. But if I gave a guess, it would have just been whatever city came off the top of my dome.
Yeah.
Maybe we go Knoxville.
Okay.
It's Atlanta. It's not even in Tennessee. Hey, you guys.
I was right about a southern.
You guys collectively playing as a team would have made it all the way up to 5th grade college football. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And especially with the standards being in this game. And by the way, if you think this is the last time we're playing this, hell to the no. I had some fun. But you made it all the way up to 5th grade.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'm okay with where I got to.
You should be proud of that.
I wasn't sure like where you were going to go with some of them.
I know, but like that was awesome.
I do know some college football, I think, more than I do NFL. But yeah, anything before I was born, don't know anything.
All right, so I'll crank up the difficulty, but I'll make it in your lifetime.
Okay.
Next time.
Well,
okay.
I mean, the one sounder you played was from 2006, and I thought it was from the 90s.
That did sound old. That did sound old.
He was old. All right. Urban Meyer is an inventor, and I have a hot take on Ohio State that I found so far 0 people to agree with me. I'm going to try to recruit 2 more people on my side. That's coming up next. Stick around, 97.1.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment means you could miss everything happening around you. Don't let those few seconds take your attention away from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case and I couldn't hire us, there are only about 3 to 4% of the lawyers out there that I would hire. And here's why. Most of them rarely, if ever, go to trial. They just take the last best offer. Hell, you can do that yourself. Do this. If you're looking for a lawyer, Google Morgan & Morgan results and see what comes up. It may shock you. Then Google the firm you're thinking of hiring and do the same. That may shock you as well. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. $30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan, or thepeople.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $200 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Save big on everything you need for your vehicle at Menards. Good maintenance equals longer vehicle life, and Menards carries automotive products to help keep your vehicle on the road. Protect your engine with Valvoline High Mileage Synthetic Blend Motor Oil. It's proven to maximize engine life in vehicles with 75,000 miles or more. Save big money on Valvoline Motor Oil. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
Join Rothman and Ice every Thursday at 2:30 for Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A new Hall of Famer joins the show every week, but not OJ because he's dead and probably a murderer. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It will be another gorgeous day with plenty of sunshine and temperatures soaring into the low 80s by Sunday afternoon. Tonight, we will see an increase in clouds and winds will start to pick up. Lows fall down into the low 60s. Rain chances do start to move into the region by Monday morning. We'll see those scattered showers continue through much of the week. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith on 97.1 The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. You're listening to The Fan. It's Sunday. We're a sports station, and we shall call it Fan Sports Sunday.
Yeah. I don't know why my weather app on my phone is taking so long to load because I'm trying to see. It's supposed to be like 80 or something like that?
I think so. Mine says it's 74 right now, high of 80. 80 around 4 o'clock.
Not bad. Dude, you and I, there's two guys wearing shorts in the studio today.
And with long sleeves on top.
Yeah, as we were long sleeves. So, yeah, 74, max of 79. And then, of course, it's going to rain all week, it looks like.
I make that noise as I see Rory wearing Carolina blue walking around Augusta National. And now I really want to root for him to win today.
But you got money on Cam Young, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so let's update these. Gosh, man, Victor Hovland's 7 under on the round through 13. So he's on the top 10.
Oh, my gosh. And it looks like Ludwig's up there now in the top 10.
Oberg, yeah. So he's got -3 through 4. And so he had, I think he had a 2 under yesterday. Or no, excuse me, 2 under a couple days ago, 3 under yesterday, and now another 3 under so far. And so those guys who put together 3 solid rounds but 1 bad one. What are you watching over there?
I don't. It's the Masters app. I didn't know what volume would go.
There's this thing called volume. You can put, you put your DND on if you want to.
I know. I opened up Matt Fitzpatrick to see what he was at because he's 2 over for his round just to see what his scorecard looked like, and it was going to show me his most recent shot. And of course, then you hear You hear the birds chirping in the
birds were
background.
chirping indeed. We had some solid scores today. We got Victor Hovland 7 under for the day.
Conditions are beautiful out there.
We got blah blah blah. Gary Woodland, who put together 6 under for the day.
Whoa,
he's done and tied for 36. So
it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out the rest of the day, because I feel like how things have gone every other round, because it's just been beautiful conditions, sunny, and everything you could ask for a Masters. That, like, yeah, these low scores are out there right now, but is it because of what they are right now and that they're going to get firmer as the day goes on and could make it a little harder?
So this is actually hilarious. So Siwoo Kim, who I'd never heard of before this Masters season, because Rothman and Vegas made a bet on him on the show when Vegas co-hosted the day before March Madness.
Okay.
So
that would be the Players' Championship, I think.
But they were betting on his Masters finish.
Oh.
Yeah, so because Rothman was talking about how this guy's either top 10 or he misses the cut. And so
that's fair.
Then they started betting on it. And so then, like, Vegas is kind of egging him on, like, how high you think he's going to go. And he's like, man, I like him, but you never know with him and stuff like that. And so Vegas is like, I bet he's outside the top 30. Top 40, top 50, and Rothman's like, got it. And he goes, oh, and then Vegas wanted to go back to top 40. But Rothman said yes right after he said, I bet you he's outside the top 50. So Rothman's got Siwoo Kim inside the top 50.
Okay. Where's he at right now?
He's tied for 47th.
Oh, my gosh.
He's through 60, so he's got 2 holes left in the entire tournament. And if he gets a bogey at all, he's dropping to tied for 50th.
But that would still hit then.
Yes.
If it's including ties.
But you also got some other golfers who are still going right now.
Yes.
So it is.
I don't think Sergio is going to climb up, and especially the morning that he's had.
Yeah. So what you wanted to mention something about him? What's the deal?
Let me find that. So if
if you have to look it up, then I put you in a spot.
No,
hey, what was the question that you were going to ask me earlier about Ohio State football schedule or something that we never got to?
Hang on, let me find this thing about Sergio. So
you're finding that the Columbus Aviators right now losing 14-10 to Dallas.
Who's wearing a headset for them right now?
I have no idea.
Is it
He's
Todd
got
Haley?
long hair. Yes, Todd Haley. It's Todd Haley.
Wow, there's your former OC hard at work. After Ted Ginn with the DUI.
Yeah, that's tough.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, now I got to look this up before I just say it. Wasn't there some sort of legal infraction that Todd Haley had at some point in time?
I don't recall. I don't.
Well, I don't want to say it just in case it's not true, but
I have the Sergio up. This is fantastic. We're just all over the place right now.
How about this? In 2006, this has nothing to do with anything. In 2006, Todd Haley filed a $1.5 million lawsuit against McDonald's after his wife found a dead rat in her salad.
Oh my gosh! I feel like that's warranted.
That is not what I was referencing.
Okay,
but that also okay.
This just took a wild turn.
Hey, that was in 2006, the same year that Keith Jackson was calling back.
Okay, do you want to know what?
Tell me about Sergio Garcia.
So Sergio on the second tee today, he had a bad tee shot, and the clip's going around of him just kind of bashing into the tee box and making a divot. He breaks his driver on a cooler, and it's just not a good look. But kind of like you kind of expect that from Sergio at times too, just because of his temper. But still, doing this at Augusta National, making divots on a tee box that's not a par 3, that's a big problem. And then later on, he's seen carrying John Rahm's bag down the fairway, who he's playing with. He's playing with John Rahm, and he's carrying his golf bag then down the fairway. So a lot of questions can be asked about
Two Spanishmen?
Yes. They're like best buddies, too.
Okay, so
a lot of questions can be asked about
how he was like stealing it.
How Sergio was feeling this morning. But then on the fourth tee, he was met by a chairman at Augusta National. It says Sergio Garcia was issued a code of conduct warning by the chairman of the Masters Rules and Competition Committee after an incident on the second hole on Sunday. So they're not with this bad behavior.
Well, at least he didn't whip out a cell phone and start texting somebody.
That's true.
Then,
how
do
you feel about that you cannot have your phones while on the grounds at Augusta National?
I actually like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it encourages. Now, I think it's kind of like dictatorship type stuff, but I do think that like people are on their phones way too much, and I enjoy the fact that it encourages people to live in the moment. That part I enjoy.
Yeah,
it is kind of ridiculous, like in every other sense, but I do think, and because I don't think they intended, I don't think they put this rule in place with this intention, which is why I'm like, they're probably just being snobby and like, whatever, like, oh, that's so Augusta and like all their stupid little rules and how,
For sure.
We don't do that around here. There's a whole lot of that sort of attitude in the golf community, especially there of all places.
Because they don't want the shots that you see sometimes of like Tiger at a PGA Championship or something like that, and like he's in the woods and just all
Tigers in the woods.
Yeah, but that's the one that comes to mind is like you see the most iconic one is everybody has their phones out recording a shot, and then there's the guy right behind them was holding some kind of beer and he's just taking it all in. Have you seen that? That was from.
But that's great.
That was from like 2022 PGA Championship, I think, and it was a great ad for whatever beer he was drinking, or alcoholic beverage he was drinking. That's a great ad for that, but. I think that's the thing is they just don't, they want, like you said, they want everybody to live in the moment at Augusta National and take in the beauty of the course.
Is that the intention behind the rule? I hope so.
I think so.
Because I think that's innocent enough.
They have payphones and stuff there that you can, like, if you need to call and check in on somebody, you can go to that and call them. But you want to have...
I've never won the lottery.
If you're with I haven't either.
I've never been in the lottery. I'm not kidding.
If you're with a group, though, like you could seriously get lost because you have no phones to track where anybody's at. So, like, have a checkpoint with people if you're going.
Was it last year where Adam Schefter said, like, somebody recognized him and went up to him and, like, pranked him and was like, dude, you didn't see the news? And, like, Adam Schefter, of course, like, needs to have his phone on him and didn't because he's at the Masters.
He probably sent a message out to every GM in the NFL, like, hey, guys, I'm going to the Masters.
Yeah.
Please do not send any news while I'm here because I will obviously not have my phone.
All right, I'll tell you why nobody listens to me in 2 minutes. Stick around, 97.1.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at Care, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. Care is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hey, are you driving high right now? You might be, because a whole lot of people do. They say marijuana makes them a better driver, more careful, more focused. That's probably what the guy who killed a 4-year-old thought. And now, he's in prison. You see, no matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Coffee? These guys don't need coffee. They're jacked on life. And Buckeye football. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Just in fairness, I cannot find any sort of incident of whatever I thought Todd Haley got in trouble for with years ago. So whatever joke I was going to make about Todd Haley just got in trouble, the least recent, I guess doesn't even apply. I don't know who I was mistaking him for, but
I don't either. I can't pick a name for you.
There are probably other football coaches elsewhere. But anyway, Todd Haley, innocent. as far as Google AI overview goes.
Okay, cool.
So Urban Meyer he's kind of crediting himself a little bit. And I don't even think he meant this in like a self-aggrandizing way. So I'm not going to come down too hard on him. And he also might be correct. I don't know if you've ever seen there's no way you've ever seen this clip, but, so Artie, this is a comedian's podcast. So Artie Lang was on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast. And this is one of the funniest podcasts I've ever listened to, like from 2015.
Okay.
And they were talking about how Matthew Perry, who's now deceased, but was not at the time, obviously, so they weren't speaking ill the dead.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how Matthew Perry's agent was trying to pitch some idea to SNL or something. I think they were like telling a secondhand story that Norm Macdonald had told them. And so there was, stories were being passed through the phone. But they were telling some story about how Matthew Perry's agent was like pitching ideas to SNL to Norm Macdonald, then Norm told Artie, and Artie's telling the story on the podcast.
Okay.
But about how Matt's got his own way of talking. He calls it Matt speak.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they show a bunch of clips and like, you mean he sarcasm? Do you think he invented sarcasm and just put a new name on it and called it Matt speak? So here's Urban Meyer with we got to come up with whatever urban speak is. He invented this new style of recruiting, which is you're allowed to recruit people outside of your home state.
I'd like to think we at Ohio State were a big part of that. We went from saying, let's compete in the Big Ten. I said that to our staff, and everybody said we are no longer. We called it the chase. You know who we were chasing? Alabama. In 2012,
the chase.
We went undefeated, and I went down and watched Alabama just beat the mess out of Notre Dame. And I said that our team would get crushed by Alabama. And I challenged every player that night on the phone, every coach, and we recruited nationally from that point forward. And so we're going to go get the best players, not just the local players.
The chase. So
I remember that.
So Urban Meyer's version of Matt speak, which is just, sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Meyer's version is the chase. Hey, man, we got this new thing called the chase. We're going to recruit people outside of the state of Ohio. Like, we need to get to be better.
Yeah.
But, so as much as I'm joking about that, I do think Urban Meyer's point there about how we saw Alabama and we recognized that there's something great. And that was, by the way, in the BCS era at the time.
Yeah.
So that
was when Ohio State also went undefeated.
Yes.
They made a case to be playing in that game.
Mm-hmm. And so, to be fair,
probably would have beat the mess out of Notre Dame.
That I don't know. Alabama sure did.
Yes.
But as Urban Meyer just conceded, which Alabama wouldn't have been in that game because
it would have been Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Hey, fifth grade college football question. Oh, no, where's my music? Fifth grade college football. So if Ohio State weren't suspended, were they self-imposed?
Yes.
With that postseason ban?
Yes.
So if Ohio State didn't employ the postseason ban that year, it would have been them versus Notre Dame because Alabama had one loss. So even though Urban Meyer just said Alabama destroyed Notre Dame in that national championship, Alabama wouldn't have been there because Ohio State would have been undefeated and so would Notre Dame. Alabama had one loss. Who was their one loss to?
I was thinking Auburn because
both of you.
I can remember that time. They lost to Cam Newton, obviously, and they lost the kick six. That was the only two times that Auburn has gone to the national championship game in this.
That would have been 2010 and 2013.
No.
Yes. The Cam back.
Well, okay, wait. The games
was 2010.
The games were played in the years after that I'm thinking of because they were in the new year.
What year was this? You're saying?
This was 2012.
2012.
There was something in 2012. There was kind of mania. I'm trying to think of what it was.
He's got it.
Was it Money Mania?
He's got it.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's right. That would be Texas A.
That's right.
Yeah, Texas A&M.
There you go. All right, hey, fifth grade college football. You got your peak coffee and save whichever one you needed right there. But you got it.
You said we could work together on it.
Yeah. But you guys got it.
To your point about
good because I forgot what my point was
about Urban.
Oh yeah,
and that I like that's. Because I only know Ohio State before 2010 of like just recruiting local guys and building from the state. I know that you have
still being really good because everyone else is kind of doing the same thing.
Yes, but that's how it is, especially now in college athletics, where you have to go out all over the place. I mean, like you're getting Jeremiah Smith from Florida, you're getting Chris Henry Jr., who's not from the state of Ohio. Like,
well, He's from Cincinnati, but he went to California for high school. But yeah, you could name a million other players that are not from it. Like JT Barrett, Texas. Like you go all the way down.
And there's still the great ones that we've seen, especially recently with Sonny Styles. You got Jack Sawyer that are from your backyard. Like those are just the two quick ones that come to mind for me. But you're still also seeing, like, I mean, look at Chris Olave. I feel like he's the most perfect example coming from California and not a highly sought after recruit, and now he's one of the greatest Ohio State receivers ever, one of the best receivers in the NFL currently. Like that's definitely when the trend started, was after that national championship game.
Yeah, and so that's all good and well, and I don't doubt that had something to do with it, but I also think I wonder if technology had something to do with it as well, just because, like, who's watching tape and who's going to get, I don't know. Because it is just different with, like, the huddle now. I don't know how you sent your highlight tapes.
It's a fantastic site.
HUDL, baby.
Yes.
But I do wonder how much, like, that has to do with it. Social media and, like, just your very accessible recruiting websites.
Yeah.
And so, like,
it's definitely expanded, especially the last few years.
Those recruiting websites existed in the early 2000s, but I don't know how popular they were in the early 2000s to where now
you would still have the rankings and everything. Like the player rankings, ESPN 300, whatever you went to, there was still stuff like that.
It's just so much more easily accessible to gather information about a kid you're trying to recruit from states away.
Yeah.
To where it's not just kind of a one-off. It's also just like the culture is kind of different, man. And I don't really know why, because it used to be there were like a handful of schools that were destination. Like Alabama was a destination school. They were so dominant in my childhood where if anybody had an Alabama, when we were playing high school football, that was the difference.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody had, and we played two guys when I was in high school, to my knowledge, who had an Alabama offer, and that's all we needed to know about them. It was Malik Vann, who I think ended up playing defensive end at Cincinnati. He went to Fairfield High School. And it was Tyree Cannell from Wayne, who ended up playing safety at Michigan.
Okay.
And so, like, we knew that. It's, that guy's got an Alabama offer.
Yeah.
And so that was a destination school. But it was kind of different in the sense that, and I guess it may just be different here, but if we played anybody, or forget if we played them in high school or not, if there was anybody who had an Ohio State offer, you just assumed they were going to Ohio State. And so Ohio State's a little bit different because they are one of those destination schools. If you played against somebody, if you're in Council Bluffs, Iowa, I don't know, and you're a recruit who's got like Iowa and Minnesota and Wisconsin, you're probably still going to Iowa of the three. But the recruiting, I do wonder how much it's changed specifically because of technology and accessibility and social media.
We had this conversation on the Buckeye show last week or 2 weeks ago when Ryan Day mentioned having the draft of high school recruits, and we were trying to figure out how that would actually work. And it's like, how do you set up a draft? Because like obviously like there can be some tanking, but like then do you also do it geographically? And obviously right now that would take a major hit to Ohio State for how much they are going out west to California, how much they're going to Florida. And they're still getting the great talent that's in here in Ohio, but you're still not going to be getting the top talent guys that you're usually getting right now that are from those southern or western states because of what that could look like geographically.
All right, we got one more segment left. Stick around. We're going to screw around. Have fun. Let's go. 97.1.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
The new Chicken and Cheddar Rancher is here at Firehouse Subs. Protein packed with grilled chicken breast, crispy bacon, melted cheddar, and creamy buttermilk ranch. A trusted favorite elevated Firehouse Subs style. Grab the new Chicken and Cheddar Rancher today. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed your team for any game day event. Visit the restaurant or skip the line and order through the Firehouse Subs app. You'll be thankful you did. Only at Firehouse Subs at participating U.S. restaurants.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, you know how we remind people not to be a sump pump grump this time of year?
I sure do. If people's sump pumps aren't pumpy, they sure can get grumpy.
And down in the dumpy.
But our $89 sump pump inspection can replace all that sump pump grumpiness with happiness.
Even if it doesn't rhyme.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our expert sump pump plumbers will make sure your sump pump is working to spec and ready to pump. We'll even do a camera inspection of your downspout drainage system to make sure there aren't any backups causing problems down the line.
And turn your sump pump grump into a flow-it-all, know-it-all.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, I'm starting to think not everything we do has to rhyme.
But rhymes help people remember things they like, Aaron. I mean, you like hokey pokey, don't you?
I do like the hokey pokey.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I moved back to Columbus with my beautiful wife and our two amazing daughters and our golden retriever, Harley. This community brought me back because this is where I feel connected. When my daughters were born, this is my home. And that is to say, I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Take the Fan with you wherever you go with the Fan app. Download it now, or we'll find you. You bring your lunch money today? Good, give it to us. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, 11 down, 1 to go. Thank you for tuning in and sticking with us. What is the worst injury that you guys have ever had? We're not athletes anymore. Isaiah's the one who took it the farthest. He was a college athlete. He played lacrosse at the University of Indianapolis.
I was too.
That does not count.
Whoa. Why?
Playing basketball at a branch campus?
I played NAIA teams.
I thought you were going to say I received NIL.
That's what I thought you were going to say, too. I was going to say.
I said L?
No. Who?
I played college basketball for OU Lancaster.
You cannot say I played college basketball.
Why? We played 20-minute halves like they do.
Did you run actual plays?
I mean, baseline out of bounds plays, yes.
Did you have team lifting?
On our own.
That's not team lifting.
Which I was doing that. I don't know about anybody else.
You did not play college basketball.
I can do that to my former teammates because they mess with me a lot. So I'll do that to them.
When me and the teammates get back together to reminisce about that big game against Chaminade in the NAIA. Yeah. Okay.
I like it, Rhyme Time.
Yeah.
10 years from now, you can tell your daughter you were in the NBA if you want.
This coming from a guy who actually played college sports. And he's the one greenlighting this?
It's probably not the same level as that, but
probably not.
Like we were offered to play D1 schools for like the bye games that you get.
Which D1 school was inviting
it was
crap team?
No, it was Indiana Fort Wayne offered us. That was during the COVID year when we didn't then have.
They were gonna pay you.
It's the bye games
to go to Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And have them rough you up, dude. They would have beat you by
the other branch campus, OU Chillicothe. They played like Morehead State, I think Eastern Kentucky, maybe.
As not scrimmages, like registered games.
Registered games, yes. They were on ESPN Plus and everything.
For whatever reason, I didn't see that plus coming at the end. I thought that sentence was ending with they were on ESPN, and then I heard plus, and I'm like, that doesn't count. What was the worst injury you guys ever had?
I broke my nose twice in 6 months. That was probably the biggest thing because I had to.
Did you Hansbrough that thing?
I had to have surgery for it. One was during a college basketball game, and then 6 months later was during pickup.
Did you guys have tryouts?
Yeah.
That was not a convincing answer.
I mean, basically, yes, but we knew the team. It was for if
only 12 signed up?
It was for if anybody else wanted to come play.
Okay. Were you recruited?
No.
Okay, thank you. Isaiah, what's the worst injury you ever had? Since, you had a little bit more of a lengthy athletic career than we did.
I wasn't super injury prone. I didn't really get hurt much, but I was hurt at one point. I didn't miss any games, but I had crushed my hand really bad and messed up all the tendons. And the whole palm of my hand was purple. And that was probably the worst injury I've ever had because I couldn't open doors with it. That was a painful one.
Interesting.
So how does that heal?
Over time.
You just got to wait?
You just have to wait. Yeah.
You just got to be left-handed?
Yeah, it was one of those where nothing was broken, but it was just it had been crushed so hard that all the tendons and stuff were so bruised that I just had to wait longer. No surgery, no nothing. But it was horrible.
My freshman year of high school, I broke my arm because my running back missed a block.
Oh.
So the O-line block to the right.
Yeah, just throwing the running back under the bus.
No, he did. He knows. He probably forgot. It was probably more significant play for me than it was for him.
Yeah.
But O-line blocked right, which means he was supposed to pick up what was coming up off the left, but he also went to go block to the right. So free runner right at me. And in one fluid motion as I'm throwing the football, come down and crack my arm right on the helmet of a defender. Now,
do you know right away it was broken? I've never broken a bone.
No, I didn't know either. Although there was one play left until halftime, and I couldn't catch the snap. All we were going to do is knee it out of the shotgun. Kneeling out of the shotgun is childish, by the way. Although I think more teams should do it because it's just if you're already running the gun all the time. But that is kind of Bush League.
The one time with my nose.
But I told my running back to catch it. I said, just stand there, catch the snap, go down to a knee. We'll take it in halftime. And then I went to the hospital.
The first time with my nose, I was on a rebound, and the guy's head went back into my nose.
Oh.
And I'm laying on the ground, I'm holding my nose because it hurts, and I go to have my teammates help me up, and the guy comes up above me. He's like, "Hang on, chill. Your nose is crooked." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I feel the blood start to gush, and yeah.
Now all of this is small potatoes next to what Tiger center fielder Parker Meadows is on the injured list for.
Okay.
He had a collision in left center field. Once upon a time.
Why do we not talk anymore in baseball? Like, you got to call the guy off.
Yeah. And so center fielder does have precedent here, but I'm watching the clip. I think the left fielder is the one who caught the ball, Riley Green. He's actually a pretty good left fielder.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through the lineups for the Tigers. So Riley Green has not missed any time since this injury took place this week.
Okay. Was he hurt from it or?
No, he started every game since.
Yeah.
Parker Meadows, however, how does a concussion with a broken arm plus 5 stitches sound?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
So he got annihilated. And his left fielder walks away from the scene completely unscathed and is in the starting lineup the next day.
I mean, to me, that just says that one guy's tougher than the other.
Well, that's what it sounds like. But as we all know, center fielder takes precedent over everybody. So if he's calling the ball,
that's true.
Left fielder's got to back up.
Yeah. So it is on Riley Green. I will say that, but it does also sound like he's a little bit tougher.
I don't know. But my take that no one agreed with, and I'll run it past you two as we got 2.5 minutes left in the show. I think that in my lifetime, Alabama's a bigger rival to Ohio State than Michigan is. I think that Michigan is more of a one rivalry, especially now. Like, I know that there was the 4 years in a row, and all we talked about is how are you going to get off of that? How are you going to beat Michigan? How are you going to beat Michigan? How are you going to beat Michigan? But by and large, to Urban Meyer's point, like Ohio State, and keep an eye on the clock, 56:40, hello. But to Urban Meyer's point about recruiting nationally and like viewing it as a bigger picture, I do think that in my lifetime, easy for me to say because I'm just turned 27, so audience members older than me may be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But the focus of Buckeye, not necessarily the program, Buckeye fans on a full scale of a calendar year spend more time worrying about what's going on in the SEC than Michigan.
I think I'm with you on that in my lifetime.
I found one.
Yes, because like there was the stretch, I know before, like you mentioned before the 4 years that Michigan was beating Ohio State, there was the longer stretch of Ohio State beating Michigan.
Yeah, like it was like 19 out of 20 years or something like that?
Yeah. So
something crazy?
Like to Urban's point, like the level that Ohio State was always holding themselves to was the Alabama level and wanting to be competing for Big Ten championships, competing for national championships, like not like we're looking at this thing as a national perspective, not like within our conference. Like we're trying to get to that next level, to that level that Alabama was at. Like I'm with you on that's the closest thing.
All right, the Buckeye fan on the show may find it the most egregious. Can I convince you?
You cannot convince me. The main
We're the
reason,
same age, man. You know what I'm talking about.
The main reason is because it was a rivalry, but it wasn't so much a rivalry, but just like more of like a looking across the pond and being like, okay, that's where we want to be at. Like they've only played twice since 2000. 2015
I'm kind
and
of
2021. In 2021, as Buckeye fans know, that was a butt whooping. 2015, really fantastic game. I think it's more of like a measuring stick where we were measuring each other up, but without the games on the field, it can't be bigger.
I don't know about that because Buckeye fans still focus so much time on the AP poll, and which it sounds silly, but they do. And so I think that's why, just in terms of energy spent, and it's also unfair to just collectively lump a bunch of SEC teams together because now you got Michigan going in, I guess, this hypothetical battle of the rivals. Mm-hmm. You have like 5 SEC schools because like Arkansas is not a concern.
Yeah.
But so as we're wrapping this up, but I just think Alabama's been a bigger rival in terms of just energy spent by the fan base.
I'm with you on it.
And we appreciate you guys. Stick around. 97.1.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences.